The Jackrabbit pregame show, presented by Sanford Health. Here for all, here for good.
Yesterday was about ghosts and goblins, but the trick-or-treating is over, and All Hallows Eve has given way to the Sycamores and the Jackrabbits. It's the second half of Missouri Valley Football Conference play. It opens today as Indiana State pays a visit to fourth-ranked South Dakota State. Hi, friends. Tyler Merriam alongside the Hall of Famer Curtis Riggs. Great to have you with us this afternoon. Coach, NDSU handed the Jackrabbits their first loss of the season last week, a tough one for the yellow and blue, and it's always interesting to see how a team responds to its first taste of defeat.
Yeah, I mean, it truly is a wake-up call for the Jackrabbits. They're so accustomed to stepping on the field, finding a way to win, and this was one that showed they have some weaknesses, and it's exciting because you can coach and you can see these things, but they got to get to work.
Well, what was interesting, after the game talking with the media, the head coach of the Jackrabbits, Dan Jackson, said that game and that defeat would serve as a launching pad for the rest of 2025.
Talk about all the time, and I just think this is going to be an incredible launching point to our season, and we'll look back on this moment as a positive, really, when you look back at the end of the season.
Coach certainly putting a positive spin on things, and the Jacks will have to stay positive mentally because they are without Chase Mason again this week. So for the second straight game, they turn to the redshirt freshman from the Atlanta area, Luke Marble.
Well, and Marble's one of those things he's talking about. He sees the weaknesses, but it's coachable. These are things they can fix, and one of the biggest issues is just timing and confidence.
Marble, you see some highlights here from Murray State a couple of weeks ago. It was a struggle last week against North Dakota State, but he had enough moments that remind you why this coaching staff and offensive coordinator Eric Eidsness are so positive about the future of this young man.
Yeah, he has the skill set. That's not in question. It's going out, getting the reps, the timing, and then the confidence of executing the play, not second-guessing it based on what the defense is doing.
All right, so that's for South Dakota State today. Now let's go to the other sideline and look at the Sycamores of Indiana State, one of the highest tempo offenses in the country, and a reason for that is the exploitation of Rashad Rochelle, the man who wears number 8 for the Sycamores.
Yeah, he's 5'11", but he is their home run hitter, and he'll go up and get it. He'll take you deep. They want to get as many plays in as possible, and they want him to touch it as many times as possible.
Rochelle All-Valley a year ago, and he can stretch a defense like anybody in the country. Indiana State has not paid a visit to South Dakota State since 2021. It's the Jackrabbits and the Sycamores on this crisp Saturday in early November, and we'll kick things off after this tailgate tip from Build Your Base.
Well, you can't have a perfect tailgate without a little beef, and for more on that.
Around 40 degrees on this first Saturday of November at Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium in Brookings. It is the 13th all-time meeting between South Dakota State and Indiana State. Jackrabbits won the toss and elected to receive. So Indiana State will be sending the football from left to right as we see things. It'll be Spencer Conrad, who doesn't normally handle the kickoff duties, but he will do it. And there's a look at Grant Goring, one of the deep men for that Jack Smith for South Dakota State. Goring is back there as well. Goring is on the 10-yard line on the near side, and then on the far side is number 19, Jack Smith, who you see. Indiana State has dropped 6 in a row against one of the toughest schedules in the country. And the Jackrabbits, after winning their first 7, falling to North Dakota State last week. And the kickoff will be grabbed by Smith at the 4. Smith across the 20 and gets hit down at the 24-yard line. Braxton Sampson, the linebacker, making the stop.
Talking to Coach Eisnes before the game, it talks about Jack Smith and the work he's done on slimming his body down to adapt to the quickness in the Missouri Valley. He's done a great job this year, it shows.
Dakota Bank brings you the look at the starting quarterback for South Dakota State, Luke Marble, the redshirt freshman from the northwestern Atlanta suburb of Smyrna, Georgia. 4-year starter in high school, actually played for 4 different offensive coordinators in his 4 years. So learned a lot of different systems, very intelligent young man. And he takes the snap on first down, gives it off to Julius Loffridge, who gets run down for no gain by Colton Gajewski, the 4th-year junior from Nashville, Illinois, his 14th tackle on the year.
Yeah, that was a nice play, just chasing down the backside. You almost need that quarterback to carry out a good bootleg fake to hold that in at least for half a second.
There's a look at the Dakota Bank starting lineups, the 605 Hogs as they call them up front, and the Jackrabbit wideouts. There are a couple of missing pieces for SDSU offensively. No Chase Mason, no Lofton Ogroski. Both are in street clothes today. On 2nd and 10. Marble's pass deflected away, nearly intercepted. Jaden Childers, the other defensive end, has 1 pick on the year, and he almost came up with a second.
Yeah, and he's late on the throw because Bullock is waiting at the sideline for the ball still. It's got to be one he's getting right out of the break. He's got to just catch and throw if you're going to the short side of the field there rather than take that drop.
Indiana State is 5th worst in the country in total defense, 6th worst in scoring defense, but their front 4 is the strength of their unit, and we've seen that with each defensive end making a play so far. 3rd and 10. Marble with a good pocket will take a shot down the field, and what a grab by Alex Bullock into Indiana State territory.
Yeah, he's definitely the playmaker now with Ogroski out, but great throw, beautiful throw, great protection, and that's a confidence booster there.
35 yards to Bullock, 2nd in the Valley in receptions per game. That's his 43rd of the year. Marble going deep again. In the neighborhood of Bullock, incomplete.
Yeah, and he's got to just have a better feel for where Bullock's going there. Throw it to the spot on the field. Don't try to always throw on a line, especially in the middle of the field. That's where DBs can undercut that ball and jump right in front of the receiver. A lot of these are learning plays for him, and Coach Eisnes, you know, as much as he wants immediate success, you still got to be patient with it. And talking to him, you can definitely sense that with him.
And we were having conversations this week with Eisnes about Taryn Christian's first starts. It takes time. Marble on the quick toss to the left side. That is Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, who is close to a first down.
Yeah, and like that right there, that's great. Just catch, throw, very accurate. Nice job. You were talking about Indiana State, though. This team, I mean, they were 10-7 with NDSU playing a great game. At halftime, they had a 3-hour rain delay, and they felt that wiped them out. They came back out, and NDSU got after them in the second half, but they felt like they played really well that first half, and they just have had a lot of battles this season.
From the Sycamore 30, Marble with a good pocket. Pass is incomplete and almost picked by Jorge Valdez, the all-newcomer selection in the Valley a year ago at safety, as Marble off the mark on that first down toss.
I don't know if we see Marble's head on this play, but he is staring right at, watch him, he just watches that one receiver the entire time. And as you do that, everyone's going where you're looking. And Camille Clark is a really good player for Indiana State. You saw him coming from the backside. He's going to take chances, and they got to be careful of that guy.
Opening drive for the Jacks from the Sycamore 30. Here's Loffridge. And he'll run through the tackle for a gain of 4, close to 5. Banged down by Lucas McAllister, the middle linebacker from St. Louis. And it'll be 3rd down and 5.
something I heard Dan Jackson say I thought was very interesting, and I caught it. I don't know if many people did, but Loffridge has been great. But there was definitely a statement that said, hey, when you run the ball, you block, you go to a certain spot, and you make people miss. And he's talking about when we get you in a one-on-one situation, you got to make people miss. And that's something they were lacking in that NDSU game.
Bullock in motion on 3rd and 5, and Loffridge never had a chance on that. It's Childers again. He was the man who nearly had the pick earlier on in the drive, and he brings Loffridge down behind the line of scrimmage, and South Dakota State will send on the field goal unit.
Yeah, and you're not making that one miss. I mean, that's right in the backfield. He had no chance there. It almost looked like quarterback running back went the opposite way of what the O-line was blocking.
Not a lot of wind for Eli Stater. This will be a 44-yard try. That extra noise you hear are some of those heaters on the sidelines trying to keep the players warm. As Stater's kick will stay inside the uprights. And Eli Stater connects to give South Dakota State the early lead.
Yeah, big kick. I think we got a good flavor, though, of, you know, the ups and downs of playing a player that is redshirt freshman coming in, trying to get his feet wet here with the tempo of the offense and understanding of everything. When do I read? When do I just play? When do I check? When do I not check? And then also using his eyes as a weapon as a quarterback.
How much is there to that statement that's almost a blanket statement at times about young quarterbacks, about the game slowing down for them?
Well, it's also not just young quarterbacks. I mean, we're watching, you know, the hurdles that USD's having to go through with their veteran quarterback having a new OC and a new offense. You know, all these, it's all the elements coming together. So you take that young quarterback, throw it in with all these elements, it hinders you. That's why when you see young quarterbacks step in and excel right away, it's pretty special.
That shot you just saw a moment ago, you saw Lofton Ogroski on crutches. What a non-conference he had. Then he missed a substantial amount of conference play. Had that sensational catch for the touchdown against North Dakota State, but was injured on the play and is on crutches and will be out for an extended period of time.
Well, and hearing Coach Jackson talk about him, too, the statement of, you know, he has a chance to be one of the best ever to play here. Well, that's a pretty bold statement.
Rashad Rochelle will fake the reverse and get a nice kickoff return out of this. Rochelle is so explosive, and there he goes down the Indiana State sideline. And no one will catch him. 95 yards for Rashad Rochelle, the senior from Springfield, Illinois, to give the visitors the lead.
Yeah, and it's not a surprise what he does. That's why I'm so shocked, and I'm sure they could not have been saying, we are kicking to him. It had to be, you're getting it through the end zone, or else we're not going to him, and just a poor kick, and then, you know, poor coverage on the play.
Well, Indiana State is a team that likes to have some trick plays and special teams. They faked multiple punts this year. They faked the reverse that time, and then Rochelle does the rest, and man, can he go.
Yeah, once he saw that seam, he was gone.
Sebastian Lopez tacks on the extra point. That is the first time since Illinois State in 2017 an opponent has returned a kickoff for a touchdown against South Dakota State. It's Sycamores by 4.
What is generational success?
All right, well, here we go. Spencer Conrad kicks things deep. Smith again on the return. And Smith out across the 30. Makes a couple of nice moves, and Jack Smith shoved out of bounds at the 38-yard line. That's a 33-yard return.
Well, and we'll see now as Coach Eisnes has a little feel of what Indiana State's going to do against their fronts. How does he adjust, and what does he do to get Marble more comfortable, too, with what Indiana State's doing?
And Marble, coming out of the Atlanta area, spent last year at Northern Illinois. Eric Eisnes, the offensive coordinator there last year, came to Brookings. And then after the spring, Marble joined Eisnes here at SDSU. Handoff. James Basinger on the run to the 40-yard line. So 3 on first down for the freshman tailback out of Littleton, Colorado.
Yeah, and you saw Marble give a good bootleg fake that time, held the backside in Gonzalez, and that's what allowed the cutback for the running back.
Just underway, SDSU with the field goal on its opening possession. Marble and Bullock for a 35-yarder to set it up. And then Rochelle, the kickoff return. And the Jackrabbits down 7-3. Marble on the fake of the handoff. Hits a wide open man. Goring with tons of room to work to the 36-yard line of Indiana State. 24 yards on the pass and run.
Yeah, this is a really nice play by Marble. You'll watch the outside linebacker tries to bait him to hit the tight end quick right there. He pauses, that gets Goring wide open, and a nice read by Marble.
So the Jackson business again at the 35 of Indiana State. Goring realigns to join Bullock and Gannon, 3 to the right. And Basinger is the back alongside Luke Marble, who was 3 of 6 for 70 yards so far. Basinger on the run. Inside the 30 to the Indiana State 28-yard line. Dallas Westhoff, the 4th-year junior linebacker out of Cedar Falls, on the tackle after a gain of 7.
Yeah, and they had a check at the line there that time, and Marble changed it. He checked. He went the opposite way with it. It was a nice call, well blocked up front.
Basinger, 5'10", 200-pounder, who signed in December and then maintained that agreement through the coaching change. On 2nd and 3, here's a screen, and Sammy Dressy falling down, lost the football, and there's a battle for it here on the 23-yard line. And the indication is South Dakota State jumped on it. It was Smith who keeps the possession after Dressy came up with the grab.
Well, and he takes a shot here. Yeah. It's a good job by Smith to recognize that the ball did come loose there.
Jorge Valdez made the hit. And we have a stoppage in play. So our officiating crew will take a look at it. Gary Delaney is our replay official. Dressy was going to the turf. So I'm assuming here what we're looking at is whether or not Dressy's knee hit the ground with possession before that ball came free, because that could be the difference of a couple of yards.
Yeah, the spot's the only thing I could think that look, because the offense clearly covered the ball.
This will be a full media timeout.
So we'll have the review, and we'll tell you about it when you come back. Indiana State a 7-3 lead on the Integra Cooperative scoreboard. 7-3 Indiana State, the lead over South Dakota State. We've had a chance to take a couple of looks at this here, Curtis Riggs, and just an awkward hit on Dressy as he's going to the ground.
It is. It looks like it is a fumble and a headsy play by Jack Smith to be able to recover that. But as you see it right there, Indiana State's able to punch that out. Valdez, that punch technique, everyone seems to be mastering that now.
And Kamal Clark almost came up with that ball for Indiana State, the All-American safety, but they did indeed rule that it was a fumble. The Jacks did recover. So it's SDSU football at the Sycamore 23. Trailing here at nearly the midway point of the first quarter. Boy, good blitz pickup by Basinger, and then Marble's pass is intercepted. It is Jorge Valdez, his second INT of the year. Boy, he's been everywhere for this Sycamore defense in the early going.
Yeah, and you fearfully saw this coming earlier when you watch here. This is a great shot. You see the blitz coming. His head is pointed and locked in and waiting. Even though the tight end gets caught up in traffic, the quarterback cannot sit there and wait hoping it opens. You got to move on. As much as you want that to happen, you got to move on and have a quick memory of who's my next guy. And he stayed the entire time and paid the price for it. That's an interesting look. Yeah.
Maybe I should adapt that. First play for Indiana State offensively. Always a positive for the quarterback when your first snap and you already have the lead. Keegan Patterson with the handoff, and that is an excellent play by Logan Green to lasso the back down for a loss of 1.5 yards. Green, the co-captain out of Northborough, Iowa. That is Keegan Patterson, Dakota Bank starting quarterback check. Patterson out of Longmont, Colorado, an engineering major who, among things in his spare time, solves Rubik's Cubes and does yo-yo work. 53% completions on the year for the 6-foot, fourth-year junior. Second and long. Patterson on the roll. Threw it low and incomplete, trying to find Rochelle, who had the kickoff return for a score earlier. It's third and long.
Yeah, and they've had some turnover at the quarterback position. You know, they had their original starter broke his collarbone early. Patterson was out, he's back. I don't know if on the resume, does that mean you're smart or you just don't, you have a lot of free time? I mean, what is that?
Well, probably you're so smart at your homework, you have more time to do other things.
I guess that's the way we'll look at it.
For me, it was just avoiding the homework. Third and 12. Patterson keeps, gets around McShane, but he'll get brought down at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, when the Jacks defense comes off, I guarantee Bergstrom's going to be saying, if that quarterback runs, go after that football, because you could see not very strong runner, not very strong protecting the ball too. And when it's 3rd and 12, the threat of him running is not a fear. That's why the DN crashed down there, because they know they can get to him out in space.
It was Isaiah Johnson who had the tackle, and now Indiana State will punt. Sycamores have used 2 punters on the year. This will be Harry Traum, the Australian. And that's Miles Taylor back to return. Indiana State late getting a body on here. And because of that, the play clock is about to run out. And Kurt Mallory had to take a timeout.
But a huge confidence boost, though, for Marble. You might not think, I mean, he just threw a pick, wasn't a great read. But to know your defense goes out there, gets you a stop, you don't cost the team, you can go back out, and I guarantee Coach E is saying, hey, quit locking in on certain receivers.
Kurt Mallory, the 56-year-old head coach of Indiana State in his 9th year. He is the longest tenured head coach of any active in the Missouri Valley Football Conference.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because they've had a lot of lows, you know, and I know one of my former players, Austin Fleeger's the defensive line coach there. He speaks very highly of him. Like, he has a tremendous amount of respect for him.
I'm not sure I found anybody to say a bad word about Kurt Mallory, and that's an oddity in the coaching profession. Traum gets the punt away. Taylor will let this bounce inside the 30, and it will come to a rest at the 25-yard line. So a punt of 50 for Harry Traum. That is his 7th out of 48 this year to be 50 or more yards. and South Dakota State takes over, trailing 7-3. State with a 7-3 lead on the Integra Cooperative scoreboard, and Jackrabbit fans who are on top of everything will take note of that man, Chase Mason, our Sanford Health Injury Report with Team Dr. Chad Kurtenbach, and the quarterback from the South Dakota State product of Hurley had a boot on his foot last week. Doesn't have the boot this week. That's a step in the right direction, one would think, Curtis Riggs.
I would think so. I know you talk to him, he's going to be back out in the second half. I mean, he is ready to get back out and play.
First down, Marble evades pressure with a nice run. 11 yards and a first down for Luke Marble, the redshirt freshman. That is his longest rush of the season.
Well, and a good decision, because they were trying to throw that bubble screen, and there was pressure from the DN and the strong safety that got in the way of the throw. So a nice decision by Marble, just take off and get positive yards there.
Well, again, we're sitting here, we're talking certain plays. Marble's making really good decisions. I mean, it's what you expect from a redshirt freshman quarterback.
Yeah, to some extent, yeah, you do. You just, after all the reps in practice, you got to start to limit some of those mistakes.
It's Josiah Johnson for a 2-yard gain, the freshman from Milwaukee. So this is the third SDSU offensive series, third different running back to start a series for Eric Eidsness's offense.
You know, I think the NDSU game showed also that they need just as much improvement in the run game, too. I mean, we're so accustomed to Jackrabbits 605 Hogs just dominating in the trenches and the backs running all over the place. Hey, this is still a growing process.
Jacks are 7th in the Valley in rushing yards, to your point, Curtis. Marble with the dump off to Grayton Gannon, the tight end, who was banged down by Xavion Andrews, the corner from Maryland. It's a gain of about 8.
Gannon getting up, hobbling a little bit, but it's good to see him get the ball out in space a little bit. He just hasn't had many opportunities.
Well, Gannon's been the one tight end who has stayed healthy this year, so the Jacks do not want to see anything happen to him. Coleman Kuntz made his debut last week, but he is not playing today. Thompson's been dinged up. Delahoy's been dinged up. Alpers has been dinged up.
Yeah, and Peak is really he's a glorified offensive lineman.
The handoff. And fighting his way forward, Josiah Johnson picks up the first down. That was the first appearance of Jack Henry in a quarterback for SDSU. And Henry hands it off to Johnson, who just plows his way to move the chains to the 37-yard line.
Well, yeah, and that second effort's what got him the first down, because he was stopped for a 2-yard loss and was able to spin out and earn that first down.
Saw Gannon come into the huddle late as the Jacks send Smith out. Sammy Dressy at the top of your picture, joining Gannon and Bullock 3 wides. And Basinger brought down in the backfield. Drew Covington, the Toledo and Louisville transfer out of Cincinnati.
And this is on Henry here. He's got to read. He's reading that in player. See his eyes go to it, and then he just lets it go, thinking the back can outrun. Well, the guy has enough space to adjust. He needs to keep that, follow the counter action, and run it himself there.
So Henry out, Marble back in. This not a surprise. Eric Eidson, just like last week, had a few plays in for Henry. On 2nd and long, pressure coming on the screen. Marble had to get rid of it even sooner than he wanted to, and he bounces it in the direction of Braden Delahoy, and it'll be 3rd down.
And you get so scared when you see that timing that's off, immediate pressure like this when he's holding it, trying to find it. Something bad's going to happen. And thankfully, he's able to just get it down on the ground near the running back there.
So this is 3rd down and 16 for the Jackrabbits. Indiana State with only 2 down linemen. Catch made by Goring, but he couldn't stay in bounds. Indiana State had a couple of guys bracketing him over there, and Goring gets the 43. It's a gain of 12, but the Jacks still need 4 more to move the sticks. It's 4th down.
Yeah, frustrating, but really good play. This is a big-time throw. I mean, this is a nice throw, a 15-yard comeback to the sideline on the money. It's just they ran it short of the 1st down, knowing that, hey, we'll try to catch it, maybe get the first, but put ourselves in better field position.
I think that's the most velocity I've seen on a Marble throw this year.
Yeah.
Rashad Rochelle, who had the kickoff return for a score earlier in the quarter. Rochelle waiting. This is a fake, and Pelham lobs the ball downfield for a 1st down and more. Then the ball came out, and the Sycamores have it. Kobe Bretz, the safety, caught the pass, got inside Sycamore territory, then lost the handle, and Indiana State exits the pile with it. Nick Yatsko, a defensive back, a hometown kid out of Terre Haute, comes up with it here, Curtis.
It's what's great about sports, the change of emotions. You're like, oh my gosh, what a great play. And then now the other side is saying the exact same thing. What a great call for a fake. And you could see it's clearly something they identified on film because they were doing it right away, but not securing the ball. You see that strip from behind, and great play by Indiana State to get the ball back.
It was Yatsko who stripped it and then also recovered it for Indiana State. As the Sycamores have come up with an interception, and now the fumble. They also have the kickoff return for a score. It's 7-3 Indiana State. 1st down handoff, and that Jackrabbit defense did not give any room to Ples Lawrence.
Well, I'm going to be the ultimate optimist. It's the play that we just watched. It's probably still better off than punting to Rochelle. So, I mean, I don't know what they were going to do there, but they ended up still, I guess one way to look at it is, decent field position as if there was a punt.
Blitz is on, the pass downfield incomplete. That was in the hands of Rochelle.
Boy, and we're not going to see him drop many of those. That was a well-thrown ball, and the Jacks got caught man-to-man defense with a blitz. Patterson throws a dart. I mean, that's a great throw, and Rochelle would have been gone. I mean, that would have been a touchdown.
Rochelle spent 2 years at Rutgers. This is his 2nd in Terre Haute, and he wishes he had that one back. 3rd and 10. Patterson sees 6 men come at him, hangs in, and the ball lofted in the air, juggled, and was that a one-handed catch? Yes. How about Keyshawn Singleton, the redshirt freshman, 7th reception of the year? He juggled that and hung on to it with one hand, Curtis.
Yeah, and Isaiah Johnson's got great coverage. It's a perfect throw, and just in the right spot where only his guy can get to it.
And now a seed to the left side. Catch made again by Singleton. He's into Jackrabbit territory at the 49 of SDSU. Singleton, in the first 7 games of the year, had only 3 catches. He made 3 last week, including 1 for a touchdown at North Dakota and 2 on back-to-back plays on this drive.
Those last 2 throws, Patterson, he threw those with someone right in his face. And as a defensive coach, they got to be saying he's not going to be able to do this all game long. Great plays, but do it all game, and then we'll see.
Good cutback there from Ples Lawrence. Dante Johnson brings him down after a gain of 4, and Lawrence is hobbling off before this 3rd and short snap. Lawrence, who's been injured a couple of times this year, in fact missed a couple of games and returned last week at North Dakota. He's out. And Dion Brown into the game. A 3rd-year sophomore from St. Louis to the left of Patterson on 3rd and a yard. Patterson will keep. 1st down and more. The quarterback's free. Brett's the safety, able to run him down at the 30-yard line of SDSU. Patterson for 15. He's been effective with his legs so far today. 22 yards on 3 rushes.
What? And the Jacks have such little fear of him running. You could see everyone chase the fly sweep there. There was no one that was obligated to the quarterback on that.
And Indiana State, the 2nd fastest tempo of any team in the country. There was some offensive shifting there, and Logan Green stepped across the line and touched the Sycamores to force the false start call.
Penalty. Remains first down.
Yeah, and if he wouldn't have, I don't think it was going to get called. It was a nice play by him. One thing going back to that 3rd and 1, Indiana State's going to come back. If they get in that situation again where they know they can go for it on 4th down, Rochelle's got man-to-man coverage with no safety over the top. The Jacks are saying you're going to have to beat us over top, and I would think Indiana State is willing to take that chance.
So it's 1st and 15 after the penalty. Patterson, the play fake. Nothing there. He'll run, and he'll get ridden down after maybe a half yard by Blake Leiferman, the Kimball, South Dakota native and redshirt freshman defensive end. And that will bring us to the end of the 1st quarter. Rashad Rochelle returned the opening kickoff that South Dakota State sent Indiana State's way after a Jackrabbit field goal for 6. And the Sycamores have a 7-3 lead after 1 on the Integra Cooperative scoreboard.
Here, we believe in...
Sanford Health, the exclusive orthopedics and sports medicine provider of the Jackrabbits.
Irv Heater Field, where the SDSU baseball team plays on the northeast side of the campus here in Brookings, as Indiana State begins the second quarter with a second and long, leading 7-3. Keegan Patterson over the middle, catch made. That's the third grab of the day for Singleton, who is down to the 28-yard line of the Jackrabbits. Indiana State on average is snapping the ball with about 14 seconds on the play clock. The Jacks with around 10. Again, Indiana State goes as fast as almost anybody in the country.
I think Patterson is playing really well. I mean, he's doing a nice job knowing where to go with the ball. When it's not there, he's trying to run and get some positive yards. He's kept a good tempo of their offense.
3rd and 8, all-out blitz. He has to rush the throw, and the ball deflected away. Miles Taylor had the coverage on Brian Domino to set up 4th down.
Boy, this is a great throw, great read by Patterson. It's just a better play by the Jacks here because it was an easy touchdown.
So here comes Sebastian Lopez, who kicked a 46-yarder at North Dakota last week. Third-year sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana. He's only attempted 3 field goals in the last 6 games. He has the black kicking shoe and the white off shoe. This is from 46 yards out. And that was right down the middle. And Indiana State capitalizes on the turnover and adds to its lead. The Sycamores have dropped 6 in a row, but lead 10-3 on the Integra Cooperative scoreboard.
I'm your baby.
This game on Midcoast Sports is presented by Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
Our producer, Carolyn Rosinski, director, Joey Beltram, and our entire Midcoast Sports crew with Curtis Riggs. I'm Tyler Merriam. 10-3 Indiana State the lead. Early moments in the second quarter. Dan Jackson, first-year head coach of South Dakota State. Jackrabbits have not won the special teams battle so far today, as the Sycamores kick off with the 7-point edge. This is a short kickoff, and Delahoyd will take it on the run, break a tackle, and try to run through another. Braden Delahoyd returns it out to the 39-yard line. It's 8 yards on the return for the tight end from Spearfish.
Well, and he had 0 fair catch in that. I think everyone was yelling, hey, fair catch this, and he's like, no, I'm getting my shot to return this.
Delahoyd has 1 reception this year as a tight end. Again, he's been dinged up for much of the year, but that one was the game winner in overtime at Montana State.
When he runs well, too. I mean, the coaches speak very highly. It's just they got to keep him on the field.
Well, you saw him run through a tackle there. So at the 39, 1st and 10, Marble to give to Basinger, and he gallops his way to the 46-yard line. That's 7 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, this is well blocked. Anytime the running back's getting 6-7 yards before the first defender's there, they're doing a great job up front.
Jackrabbits with 32 yards on 11 rushes today. Basinger bounces off a tackle, and he'll move the sticks. Momentum and forward progress stopped right at midfield as Basinger picks up 4 more.
Good job by the Jacks getting body on body up front there, not letting guys slide off the blocks.
From midfield, Marble slings it to Gannon, who juggles, catches, and stumbles to the Indiana State 44. It's a gain of 6. Yatsko, who had the strip and the recovery on the fake punt earlier in the game, came up with the stop.
Yeah, and Gonzalez was blitzing. He was coming off that edge. Marble saw it, so he was able to throw to the flats with no one out there. It's good read by him, good quick throw.
Jackrabbits have outgained the Sycamores in total yards, 163-55. But again, it's the Rochelle kickoff return that is the difference. 95 for a score. On 2nd and 4, Garcia Castaneda motions. On the keep, Marble is shoved out of bounds. Kamal Clark, the All-American who transferred in from Central Connecticut State, shoved him out at the 41. It's a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Marble's really getting caught up with his zone read, that run where it's quarterback, running back. When they slant the D-line, he's got to know there's another defender coming from the outside. And it's okay to give because you can read that next outside defender.
Jacks are 2 of 4 on 3rd downs today. They need 1. Smith motions. Basinger makes a man miss, made a 2nd miss as he dives to the 35-yard line. 6 yards and a 1st down. Dallas Westhoff, whose father played linebacker at Iowa a couple of decades ago, brings him down.
You see a little confidence here. Nice little sidestep and then making that defender miss to get 3 more yards after.
That's really the one thing that's been missing from the Jackrabbit running game is that little wiggle from somebody.
Yeah, when you get in space against any of these teams, they're so good up front. You got to take advantage of those opportunities, one-on-one situations.
Marble connects with Goring, who gets lassoed down by Clark at the 29 after a gain of 6. Talking about, again, the running back room, of course, you had Nate White pass away over the summer. He would have been an impact player, no doubt. Corey Blair is out. Brendan Begeman is out. It's just a limited running back room, and so we've seen Loffridge, Basinger, and Johnson all get carries here in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, right there, Goring go. That was a great job hanging onto the ball because Clark came in immediately and was going for that football. But Goring was not willing to release that.
Marble is 8 of 13 today for 105 yards. He'll hand it off. Ooh, and Basinger got held up by 1 Sycamore, and then Yatsko came over to drill him. That's actually a loss of 1 back to the 29. It'll set up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, they brought a blitz. They squeezed that DN down, bring a blitz right off the edge too. And Marble had to give, even though that one probably wasn't going to be a great gain. Going to the short side with it, the defensive end, he was able to chase it down there.
At the 29 of the Sycamores, 3rd and 4. The Sycamores have 8 men at the line of scrimmage. Low throw to Bullock, who was able to dive and snare it, but it's only a yard gain. It'll be 4th and 3.
This is a great play call for this situation. I mean, Coach Eisnes catches them in the defense he wants. They come up with a blitz. They're man-to-man. You bring a guy across to get the defender caught in the flow, and then you make Bullock go back for the ball. You make a poor throw. You got to make a big throw there to allow him to get the first down.
Poor John Pica, 83, ran into the huddle, and then the Jacks changed their mind. Then he had to come running out of the huddle.
Yeah.
4th
People don't realize he's a tight end, too.
Gustad lined up as the deep back. The play clock down to 5, and a timeout to South Dakota State. So it's 4th and 3 at the Indiana State 28 for SDSU when you come back to Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium.
School is back.
Good day for some cotton candy, huh? 10-3 Sycamores on top of the Jackrabbits, and it is a day for everybody in the Valley right now. Our Willikers standings. North Dakota trails by 9 at South Dakota. Coyotes are in front of the undefeated Fighting Hawks in the third quarter. NDSU is down early at home to Youngstown State, and Illinois State a 14-0 lead over Northern Iowa. Jackrabbits able to tack 3 on. 46-yarder for Eli Stater, his second field goal today, 9th of the year, and the Jackrabbits do get 3 as they choose not to go for it. After they initially looked that way, the timeout, and then they take the 3, and a big response for SDSU as Stater strikes again.
Well, I think that throw on third down, that's part of the reason you kind of think maybe I'll just get the points here. I mean, they had the right play call. They had it. They didn't execute. Okay, let's take the points while we have the chance here.
Indiana State saw the Jackrabbits take an early lead on a field goal. Then Rashad Rochelle returned the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown. And the two teams each have a field goal since. We've seen SDSU throw a pick in the end zone. We've also seen the Jackrabbits fake a punt for a significant gain, but on the pass from Pelham to Bretz of 28 yards. Bretz was stripped, and Indiana State recovered the fumble. Just been an odd game for anybody to get their feet underneath them.
Yeah, it has. It sounds like that's kind of the norm right now in the Valley with all the other games, too. UND, this is the beginning of a gauntlet for them.
Fair catch made inside the 5 by Rochelle. UND in Vermillion to take on South Dakota today. Next week, UND will host North Dakota State, and the Jackrabbits are in Grand Forks at the end of the month as we see a Jackrabbit engaged over there on the far sideline, Miles Green. And officials had to separate everybody. But to your point again, we're in the stretch run here. UND, I mean, it could be a huge factor in all of this. But first things first, it needs to get out of Vermillion.
Yeah, I mean, you look at they're playing Vermillion, they play NDSU, and then they have SDSU coming up. I mean, they have all the games they want, and they contend to be a playoff team. Well, you got to win those.
And USD with a win keeps its playoff hopes alive, and the Jacks will visit Vermillion next Saturday afternoon. Patterson drilled as he throws that pass incomplete. Boy, did he get walloped right as he released the football by Logan Green.
Well, and you're just like, hey, Claiborne and Green, like, how do we not know where those two are? I mean, they're the two studs on that D-line. Let's make sure those two guys are accounted for every time. Don't ever let them come free, because Green went right through and then sent a little shoulder into Patterson.
Patterson, who started his career at the University of Southern California, takes the snap, but whistles and flags will halt this play.
Ball start. Offense, number 78, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Just the second flag of the day on the visitors. As loud as it's been today here at Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium. Patterson nearly dropped the snap and then threw it too far out in front of Rochelle. Taylor dove and was the closest man to it in the Jackrabbit secondary.
Yeah, and on an RPO like that, it's when you bobble like that, it's a disaster. And you see Claiborne then this time now. Hey, Green got you last time, and hey, I'm pretty good too.
From one captain to another. Listen to this crowd on 3rd and 15. What a play in the backfield. Dawson Ripperda adds his name to the mix, bringing down Nick Osho for a loss.
Yeah, you felt the Jacks defense really building off the crowd, the momentum there, taking it upon themselves to let's get control of this game here.
So Indiana State to punt. Never a comforting thought for a punter to be standing back inside of his own 10, but that's where Harry Traum is. First punt went for 50. He just got it away and took a shot as well. There is a flag down. Taylor on the return will cross midfield.
Yeah, and I think it'll be running into the kicker, which is just 5 yards, so then they can re-kick or accept it.
Like it was Jack Nash who hit him after a 39-yard punt. The flag is being sorted out here. Our referee is Jason Perkins.
Running into the kicker, receiving team number 48, 5-yard penalty, replay 4th down.
Another look here, Curtis.
It's where you just get caught. You know, you're reaching for it. You'd say, you know, somebody, you got pushed into it. Well, he was out of control as he was going, he gambled, I'm going to get a piece of this ball, missed, and then it's going to run into the kicker.
Second penalty on South Dakota State instead of the Jacks having the ball near midfield. Another crack for Harry Traum, the 4th-year starting punter. And Miles Taylor, who does have a 22-yarder to his credit this year out of Gilbert, Arizona, waiting on. Traum hesitated, then sends a line drive kick towards Taylor, who backs away, and this gets a great roll. Like a Curtis Riggs drive down the center of the fairway, just keeps rolling and rolling to the 29-yard line.
We don't see that often. But
the fairway part or the rolling part?
Any of the above.
8:20 left in our second quarter. It's Jackrabbit football trailing Indiana State 10-6.
Is presented by South Dakota State University. Build a better future with South Dakota State University. And by Peterson Farms Seed.
Now, there's a costume. And I love the touch of the hat. Like, that's a good look right there.
Yeah, I mean, the necklace, too, I think adds a lot to the feature.
You know, I got to check my wardrobe. Somebody may have stole my necklace there. Jacks take over at their own 29. And a gain of maybe 3 for Josiah Johnson as Marble didn't exactly grab that snap cleanly. See new personnel coming in, both Garcia, Castaneda, and Dressy. Jacks without Lofton Ogroski today. He's out for an extended period of time. Still don't know exactly how long Chase Mason will be out. As we joked earlier, if you ask him, he'd say he'd be ready to play tomorrow, but the doctors certainly do not agree. Blitz is on. Johnson picked it up, and Marble's pass is caught. A leaping reception. Sammy Dressy, the redshirt freshman out of Wichita, hauls it in for a first down.
This is a scary throw. This is all the way across the field, blitz in your face, but a nice throw, nice catch. Good blitz pickup, too. That'll be a determining factor when young guys come into play. If you can continue to stay on the field, can you pick up the blitz?
Johnson's just a bowling ball back there, whether he's running it or whether he's picking up a blitzer. From the Jack Zone 40, it's 1st and 10. Here is Johnson. It's tackled after a gain of 2, maybe 3 by Jorge Valdez, who's had a busy day in that Sycamore secondary, the pride of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Just look at the build on 34.
Yeah, and I think, though, right there is where that tackle, make it a little tougher. Even if they bring you down, make them have to work a little harder to be an arm tackle. With that strength, you'll run through those arm tackles.
He averaged 11.6 yards per carry in the Milwaukee area. Was a finalist for the Crazy Legs Hirsch Award, which goes to the best running back in the state of Wisconsin.
That's a great name there.
Johnson to midfield. First down and a gain of 7. They just don't make nicknames like Crazy Legs anymore, do they?
And for that position, that award, too. Nate Adams at guard there doing a great job getting downfield, taking his linebacker, pushing for a little bit of a free ride there.
Well, if we're going to highlight nicknames, the human sunblock, Nate Adams. And you can see the beard coming out of the helmet. You can't hide that.
Yeah.
On 73 there.
I mean, it looks like that helmet was just painted on there, too.
Well, the hair certainly wasn't.
Not a lot of room in there.
1st and 10 from midfield. Marble bobbles the ball, then throws downfield, and bouncing around like a pinball is Goring to the 43. Dan Jackson wanted a face mask on the tackle. The SDSU head coach after a 7-yard completion.
Yeah, and it's a fair argument. Marble needs to realize, don't get that ball caught up in the running back here, but great job. Watch, you'll see the face mask. He comes right across the front. He actually finished pulling it, too.
It was Alex Rose, the 3rd-year sophomore linebacker. 5th grab, by the way, in this first half for Goring. He has 27 on the season. After a gain of 7, Jackrabbits a 2nd and 3 from the Indiana State 43. Marble throws back across his body, juggled and dropped that time by Goring.
Yeah, Marble kind of hitched a little bit. He's got to throw it that first time. Don't hesitate. When you hesitate, the defender now comes downhill and is able to break that up. You'll see he kind of clutches right there. Just that little clutch is what allows that defender to get there to break it up.
Amon Glass, the corner, who didn't play last week at North Dakota because of a foot injury.
And that's what Coach E was talking to you about. You know, see it and do it. I mean, don't see it, think about it, then do it. That's too late by then.
3rd and 3. Jacks are 3 of 6 on 3rd downs today. And the keeper for Jack Henry. And look at him go. The Del Rapids native to the 32-yard line of the Sycamores for 11 yards.
And a tough, hard run there. Takes some shots. We missed that part. Yeah. Didn't see that. The ball just popped right out, and luckily he gets a big hop there.
Well, Jackson Henry, a tremendous athlete. Out of Del Rapids, led the Warriors to back-to-back 11A championships, and also a heck of a baseball pitcher. In fact, his brother is a pitcher at the University of Oklahoma. Henry will keep behind Johnson. Boy, he got lit up that time. Kamal Clark, the All-American safety, met Henry after a 2-yard gain. Pads are popping.
And I'll say right away that Henry is a great athlete. He's not a great runner, and he can learn this, but you can see he's running like a quarterback. He is not Chase Mason running with the ball there when Chase used to do this last year. And even when Henry ran in high school, he ran outside a lot. He was actually going to play baseball until he wins the state title again. And then Coach Lujan's like, hey, you could be a really good football player. And then he had some interest.
Threw 88 miles an hour at an SDSU baseball camp, but he gets thrown backwards shy of the line of scrimmage by Colton Gajewski, the defensive end on this carry. And it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, it's like Coach E's trying to send a message here.
Well, Jackson Henry, we told you about his time in Del Rapids. There he is as a quarterback, leading the Warriors to back-to-back state high school football championships. And there he is, 88 miles an hour as a pitcher.
Yeah,
do a little bit of everything.
You can also see what a college weight room does for these kids, too. I mean, the size on him now compared to that. And I remember watching him calling his games in the state championship. I mean, he could outrun everybody.
Marble on the screen to Garcia Castaneda, who does some work in space, but can only pick up 3 yards to the 28. So it's 4th and 6. And right here, you're looking at around a 45-yard field goal. But the Jacks are going to instead go for it.
Well, and 3rd and 9, that's a safe call, really, with the Coach Jackson saying, hey, get a couple here, you can go for it on 4th down. And then that's what Coach Eisen has called.
Jacks are 5 of 15 on 4th downs. 3 wides right here. And Marble's going to get thrown down by the blitzing safety, the All-American Kamal Clark, as the Sycamores turn SDSU back.
Yeah, and I think if Marble could have thrown this up and just given his receiver a chance, Bullock was open. You watch Bullock coming across, he gets grabbed too. And if Marble can just throw it up there, I bet the back judge throws the flag on that also.
Clark, his first sack of the year, the Lackawanna, New York native.
That's where they're bringing more than what you can block. You've got to drift as a quarterback and throw it to a spot. Let your guy go get it.
Now remember, SDSU won the toss and elected to receive, so it's Indiana State football to start the second half, and the Sycamores have it here late in the second quarter as well. Patterson, the sidearm sling, incomplete, got deflected in the direction of tight end Lance Reese.
Those are always the scary ones there, that when it bounces off or tips.
Patterson 3 out of 9 today. If you're joining us a little bit late, SDSU with a 210-54 total yards advantage, but Rashad Rochelle returned the kickoff for a score for Indiana State, and that's why the Sycamores are in front. Not a lot of room in space for Torrey French, his first reception of the day, but he's able to work his way out across the 43 to the 44.
You watch that last play, Claiborne. He's good defensive lineman. He's a good DN. He's a better defensive tackle.
On the Integra Cooperative scoreboard, Indiana State a 10-6 lead in Brookings. Jackrabbit, who has done 4 different tenures in the military, and he's on campus studying nursing at SDSU. Plus, the Summit League men's individual cross-country champion from earlier on today. We'll meet him and our Avera first-half highlights and stats all coming up at the break. But a big play here, Indiana State with a 3rd and 6. And Patterson will empty the backfield at his own 44. Jacks rush 4. Patterson gets rid of it, incomplete. He had Torrey French, who was sliding and couldn't quite come up with it, but Patterson put it right there.
Oh boy, did Claiborne put a shot on him.
And that too.
Claiborne kind of heard my comment about good DN, not great. You see him just go around though. He runs the corner and puts a big hit on Patterson.
Whether it's at tackle or end, though, the motor's the same.
It is. It's just he gets there quicker at tackle, and that's, I mean, he doesn't quite have that same speed as a DM, but some of the injuries have caused the Jacks to have to make these moves.
That's a 280-pound defensive end. Traum gets the punt away. Fair catch called for, and Taylor secures it at the 20. So a punt of 36 with no return.
Well, and it'll be interesting to see what the Jacks do as any type of hurry up here with Marble, because this is a really important drive. Like you said, Indiana State gets the ball first coming out of the second half.
Let's go to this special message from our friends at Sanford Health.
Building a career at Sanford Health is about even more than great pay and comprehensive benefits. It's also about doing good every day. Join us to start a career with purpose. Because no matter what you do here, you'll be changing lives.
First and 10 Jacks at their own 20. Basinger finds some room, throws a stiff arm and drags a man to the 33-yard line. It was Jorge Valdez who Basinger fought to the 33 for 13 yards.
Well, and the Jacks were able to just that play took a long time to get over there, and a good job staying on their blocks.
Basinger, as the Jacks hurry up here in the final 2 minutes, gains 3. Jacks do have 2 timeouts on the board and 90 seconds to play in the half, trying to overcome a 10-6 deficit.
Well, and we haven't seen Loffridge since the first or second drive of the game.
Marble in trouble. Stays alive and finally will be sacked at the 28-yard line. It was Caleb Harris, the redshirt freshman from Evansville, Indiana, and now we've got some extracurricular over here. It was Quentin Christensen in the middle of it for South Dakota State. He was engaged with a Sycamore who ended up on the ground, and a flag came out.
And you don't see emotion out of him very often. You can see Marble just doesn't quite have that feel when that pocket's breaking down. Hey, go and get yards. He really couldn't pick a lane of where to go.
Our officiating crew, led by the financial advisor out of the Twin Cities, the man with the white hat, Jason Perkins,
After the
sorting it
play
out.
was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 69, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 95. Those fouls offset. It's each player's first unsportsmanlike conduct towards disqualification. It's third down.
So Christensen 69 and Indiana State's Logan Wilson, number 95.
Well, it definitely looks like it was a two-way street there with both guys contributing.
So because it's offsetting, there is no movement of the football. Jacks at their own 28, facing a third down and 15.
Well, and you would expect a pretty safe call right here.
Luke Marble today, 12 of 18 for 125 yards and a pick. His pass to the far side incomplete. Arm may have been hit as he released it. Gannon the closest man to it. And Indiana State with a couple of timeouts should get decent field position, and Marble kind of holding on to his left shoulder there. Again, we said he might have been hit as he threw it, and that shoulder dangling a little bit as he comes off the field.
Yeah, and it looked like Logan Wilson finally getting there. We heard a lot about Wilson coming into this game, and you see why. He's a pretty good defensive tackle there.
We'll keep you posted on Marble. First time the Jacks lined up to punt, Pelham threw a 28-yard pass. This time the rugby-style kick, and it is a good one. Pelham's been good all year. So has Rochelle in the punt return game, but he'll make the fair catch at the 23-yard line. That's a punt of 49. Pelham has punted 29 times this year. 13 of them have been for more than 50. That one goes for 49. He's been quite a weapon for SDSU. Jacks are top 5 in the country in net punting.
Yeah, and you got to be careful, though, because you can out-kick your coverage. And he went rugby-style kick, and he kicked it back to the middle of the field. And Rochelle in the middle of the field is not the guy you want to have a chance to go two ways. You want to pin him on that short side of the field where all your pursuit's going.
So 45 seconds and 2 timeouts for the Sycamores, who start at their own 22. And it's a run on first down. Nick Osho to the 29 for 7. Osho just his 3rd carry of the half. He is one of only 2 running backs in the Missouri Valley this year to eclipse 200 yards in a game. He put 211 up at Southern Illinois back in early October.
Yeah, and that's a call saying, hey, we are very satisfied with the way this game's going, and we get the ball first.
Yeah, they are not going to snap the ball again. Kurt Mallory and his Indiana State Sycamores have played as tough of a schedule as anybody in the FCS. They have faced 4 top 10 teams in the FCS and one of the top 5 in the FBS in Indiana. But they played right with North Dakota State for a half 2 weeks ago, and they lead the Jackrabbits on the road 10-6 at the break. South Dakota State a 218-65 advantage in total yards, but it's Indiana State with the only touchdown of the game, a Rashad Rochelle kickoff return for a score, and the Trees with a 4-point lead in Brookings at the break.
It's Taco John.
For the Jackrabbit Halftime Show, presented by South Dakota State University.
Halftime at Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium, and Indiana State trying to snap a 6-game losing skid with a 10-6 lead over the 4th-ranked Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. Well, today, SDSU has christened this game Military Appreciation Game to honor all of those who have served for our country, including this young man who has dedicated his life to the military and now is back on campus studying nursing here at South Dakota State.
My name is Alexander Pachi. I'm from Avondale, Arizona, and I'm studying nursing at South Dakota State University. When I was doing some research about colleges to go to, I saw South Dakota State University as one of the top nursing programs. So I went ahead and applied and got accepted, and I was very excited. I've been talking to Jessica Summerfield, my advisor at the College of Nursing, and she was amazing, very friendly and kind, and it made me want to come here even more. I've been in the Air Force since 2008, so I've been in about 17 years, and I've been on 4 deployments. My job is ground transportation. We transport and move equipment across the base, supporting like the missions in the desert. I applied for the Nurse Enlisted Commissioning Program in the Air Force, which is a very competitive program. Only about 50 people or less get selected a year to attend this program, so I was very fortunate enough to get selected, and I'm grateful for it. Going to the civilian world, I feel like it's a huge transition. Like, I'm not used to this, but when I started meeting my classmates, meeting my instructors, they made it very welcoming and very easy to kind of transition over. I feel like I'm ready to make an impact because following the instructors' examples, because they're really great nurses, and also the students. The study groups have been great. The instructors are very helpful, like giving tutoring sessions, helping you out on the side, and being open to take questions and all that. What makes the experience even better is just doing the clinicals and actually seeing the patient's reaction. Like, it's amazing when you see like they're happy that you're there to help them. I've never been to the Midwest before. It's a new experience. I like how there's like a small community of people. I can have my garage open, you know, I can walk down my neighborhood and breathe fresh air, you know. I love to play drums. I also like to work out. I like to run. I like to lift weights, and I like to watch movies with my wife too and take the kids out to watch movies. So my goal is to finish my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, and then I also want to strive for a master's degree in nursing as well. If I can serve my country and help people at the same time, I'll be that makes me happy, you know, makes me satisfied.
And as
in this life chapter, you're putting you first, and so are we, with Medicare Advantage plans from Align powered.
Halftime on the Tegra Cooperative scoreboard, 10-6 Indiana State the lead. Always good to have superheroes like Mario and Luigi with us. You know, one of the keys to winning Super Mario Brothers is the ability to run really fast. That might not necessarily be Cody Larson's trait, but he can certainly run as fast as anybody over long distances. Earlier on today, the Summit League cross-country championships occurred in suburban Omaha, and Cody Larson won the Summit League individual title for SDSU as Rod DeHaven's squad claimed, if you can believe this, its 10th consecutive men's Summit League championship. So let's take this opportunity to get to know Cody Larson.
I'm Cody Larson from Warner, South Dakota, and my major is mechanical engineering. I actually took a job at Solventum here in Brookings, so I'll be sticking around for the next couple of years. Growing up in South Dakota all my life, I'd want to stick around as much as possible. That's why I took a job here, and the people have been amazing. My teammates, Coach DeHaven, it's definitely a very special place to be.
Senior distance runner Cody Larson is in his 5th year at South Dakota State. Recruited by head coach Rod DeHaven prior to the fall of 2021, Larson has seen why Coach DeHaven has built such a successful program.
If you look across the NCAA, I don't think you can find another coach that can take so many 940 kids and make them into something special. You know, a lot of these D1 programs are getting 9 flat or under 9 kids in the 2 mile, and the development here is unlike anything else anywhere else.
Although the competition results are decided by the individuals, it's the support from the teammates that fuels the runners.
The team aspect more happens in the training every day, you know, being there to support each other, whether if I'm having a bad day, a teammate's dragging me through workouts, or vice versa, or they're having a bad day and I'm encouraging them and making them put their best foot forward. I know it's happened a lot the other way, where my teammates are always dragging me along and pushing me to be better and better every day. And a lot of times in track, individually, you get to work together in a race, but it's very seldom. So just having that in practice is very different than race day.
The Sanford Jackrabbit Athletic Complex has been a game changer to 9 Jackrabbit programs, and Larson has felt the impact for the cross-country and track and field teams.
It's a huge advantage, especially being in South Dakota. The winters get very cold. The snow makes it very slippery, so having that constant training temperature-wise, no wind in there, makes it so we can have continuous efforts throughout the winter as well as the summer and spring and keep moving forward all year long.
Larson just missed out on All-American honors last year, so his determination has been greater than ever over the off-season.
You know, it's in the everyday tasks, just trying to be the best I can be, and the humble, mundane tasks, and trying to be excellent at the everyday.
Congratulations to Summit League Cross Country individual champion Cody Larson for his performance earlier on today. Our thanks to SDSU students Brent Bowen and Austin Singer for putting that package together. When you return to Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium, Curtis Riggs rejoins us with a look at highlights and stats as 4th-ranked South Dakota State trails Indiana State 10-6 at the break.
No.
FCS trailing Indiana State. The Sycamores a 10-6 lead at the break here in Brookings. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth alongside the Hall of Famer Curtis Riggs. I'm Tyler Merriam. What do you make of the first 30 minutes?
Well, I think our highlights are probably going to be incorporating a lot of special teams because there wasn't a lot of offensive and defensive highlights.
Well, let's get to our first half highlights. They are brought to you by our friends at Avera Orthopedics. And the biggest play of the game, no question, Rashad Rochelle after SDSU hit a field goal on its opening possession. He takes it 95 yards.
Well, they haven't been able to get him the ball on offense, so he took it upon himself right away to set the tone on the only touchdown of the day of the half. You just see how he gets an open crease and takes it home.
That was after this field goal by Eli Stater of 44 yards, one of two the Jackrabbit place kicker would hit. So Indiana State with a 7-3 lead after a quarter. Big play here as Marble takes a shot downfield and is intercepted.
Yeah, you see him just locked in the entire time, waiting for his tight end to get open. He's got to move on. Big interception.
Then the fake punt. Pelham hits Bretz for a big play, but Yatsko with first the strip and then the recovery to turn the Jacks back.
Yeah, it was a huge call. Great call. Just couldn't finish it, and a big turnover for the Jacks.
And then Sebastian Lopez connects on a 46-yard field goal for Indiana State. Jackrabbits would reply with a 46-yarder from Stater, his second of his two field goals in the opening half. And the Jackrabbits find themselves down 10-6. Again, statistically, SDSU is dominating, but the turnovers and then the kickoff return for a touchdown, the difference in the football game.
Yeah, when you look at the stats, you think the Jacks are just dominating. You think offensively they're doing some good things, but we could only find 5 special teams clips as highlights. I mean, it's kind of been, hey, I'm going to do this, you do that, and neither one can finish what they're trying to accomplish.
Well, this is just a weird day, it feels like, in the Missouri Valley Football Conference as we open up the month of November. We look at what else is going on right now. North Dakota, again, a highly ranked team who has rattled off a bunch of wins. It's a big month for them. And they were down 26-7 at one point in Vermilion. They have scored to cut it to 26-14.
And that's a big one for 2 reasons. One, because they have a lot of big games coming up, too. That sets the tone for them. USD, if they can figure out offensively, turning things around and scoring some points because they've been playing well defensively, that could be scary for a lot of other Missouri Valley teams.
We're told UND just scored a touchdown to cut it to 26-21. Illinois State handling Northern Iowa, and a big one in Fargo. Youngstown State is proving worthy of the Bison so far, only down 4 late in the second.
You know, one thing that needs to be factored in is let down by NDSU after a big win. And then factoring our game too, SDSU coming in, you got Indiana State after a big loss, but you have USD next week. You kind of get a lull. I think we're seeing both of those things take place.
Well, we see teams circling the Bison and the Jackrabbits on their calendars too.
Yeah, and then when you have your rival games, NDSU has UND next week, and SDSU plays USD.
So what does SDSU have to do here in the second half to turn things around?
Well, they got to finish. They got to finish drives. They can't resort to field goals. They got to go out, score touchdowns. The defense will come out and do its job.
So halftime, it is Indiana State with a 10-6 lead. Sycamore ball to start the second half when you return to Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium.
Thanks for watching the Jackrabbit Halftime Show, presented by South Dakota State University.
Whether you're looking for fast service or maybe you're looking
Indiana State has dropped 6 in a row. South Dakota State started 7-0 before falling last week to North Dakota State and the Sycamores in a first half that could perhaps be described as bowling shoe ugly. A 10-6 lead over the Jackrabbits. And Indiana State will open up the third quarter with the football. Do I need to ask if you're kicking the ball to Rashad Rochelle?
Hey, they punted to him. I mean, you never know what they're... I'm still trying to get past the visualization of bowling shoe ugly. That's a new one. That's good.
I'm here just to make you crack a smile once or twice. If you do, I figure my day's been made.
There's our answer right there.
Fair catch called for and made at the 28-yard line. Jacks want no part of Rochelle.
And that's one where the coach, special teams coach, said, if you kick that ball anywhere near Rochelle, just keep running right out, head over to the S-Jack and start practicing because we're going to have issues. You could tell that was clearly make them fair catch.
Well, again, Keegan Patterson, 4 of 11 passing for 32 yards. He did run for 23 yards on 3 attempts. Sycamores had just 63 yards in the first half and only 2 first downs. From the 28. Patterson's first throw of the half is caught, and it is Isaiah Johnson who shoves Keyshawn Singleton out of bounds. Singleton, the transfer from Air Force, again had only 3 catches in the first 7 games of the year, but he made 3 at North Dakota last week, and that's his 4th catch of today. Second down and about 5. It's an end around to Brian Domino. And he'll get thrown down shy of the line of scrimmage by Kyton Fife, starting for the injured Chase Van Tol, the 4th-year junior who comes from Grand Island, Nebraska, makes the play.
Yeah, and he just didn't have confidence in Osho getting the block here in front of him. He sees the safety coming down. He tries to cut inside, not realizing Osho did get the block for him.
Ullman got his hands on him initially, then it was Fife who finished the tackle. Sycamores 2 out of 6 on 3rd downs. They need 8 here. We'll talk about using every inch of the field with 3 wides left and 1 right. Jacks come with 4. Patterson's pass is caught despite Johnson's attempt by Rochelle, but they're going to mark him at the 36, 2 yards shy of the sticks.
And this is an interesting call because usually you would say, hey, we'll go for it. What do we have to lose? But punting might be their best weapon because of what the Jacks' lack of production offensively and the inexperience at quarterback. Our defense is playing well. Let's punt to them and let's get back out there.
3 punts, a 44-yard average for Harry Tron. As you see, Miles Taylor waits at the Jackrabbit 25. Taylor backpedals to his own 20. Taylor out across the 35, a 17-yard return on a punt of 44 yards.
Very good job protecting the ball, too, as he got in traffic there. Not a good kick. It was low, gave him a chance to get a return, and he was able to gain some good yards on that. So great field position to start the Jacks offensive series.
And we do see Luke Marble back on the field. Remember, he came off on that last pass of the first half, holding his left side of his chest and his left shoulder dangling a little bit.
Yeah, still don't. Loffridge, though, not out there. I see him on the sideline.
Jacks open up at their own 37. Delahoyt and Gannon, the 2 tight ends motion. Now Bullock motions. He'll take the handoff. He's got room to the near side of the 44. Bullock for 7 on the first down handoff.
Yeah, and they had this block so well. Gannon, though, for whatever reason, he and Bullock are out, or they're out there together, and Gannon just leaves the corner when they had 2-on-2 blocking set up.
And again, you see 32 Basinger the back end. Loffridge is on the sidelines, but the Jacks have used Basinger the majority of this game. He has 9 carries out of SDSU's 25 rushing attempts. Marble gets away from a sack, showing some slipperiness here. Luke Marble to the Indiana State 44, still going. The pile being pushed forward, and Marble out of bounds at the 39-yard line. And look at the emotion of Luke Marble. after the run of 18 yards.
Well, and he's probably thinking at the end of this, I'm 4 yards out of bounds and people are still hitting and pushing me, but it's his own guys. Basinger will get behind him here, and he just takes him for a ride, keeps going. They're out of bounds. Basinger's still pushing him. That's a big play, though.
Well, and you know who the big man pushing from the backside was? Quentin Christensen.
Oh, yeah, he's going to have some force on that movement.
At the 39 of the trees, it's 1st and 10. Here is Basinger, who slipped the tackle. And now more pushing by the Jackrabbit offensive line.
And I think he fumbled.
Nate Adams shoved it forward, and as Basinger was going down, that ball appeared to come out. Now we have one official trying to stop things a few yards back. Well, we might have some controversy here before this is all said and done.
Well, I think you're going to see... You're going to see Coach Mallory lose his mind here.
Ruling on the previous play was the runner's forward progress was stopped. It'll be 2nd down.
So they're saying he was stopped there and that all this didn't matter, and the ball does clearly come out at the end.
Yeah. And that's one that cannot be reviewed now. But boy, it really didn't look like that forward progress ever stopped.
And that is Kurt Mallory's beef.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Mallory's saying, hey, on the previous play, you let it go forever. And then on that one, suddenly you had a much quicker whistle. But as you said, if the whistles blow, it doesn't matter what happens afterwards or whether his progress actually was stopped or not. Once the whistles blow, it's a dead deal.
Right. And on Marvel's run, it's frustrating for the Indiana State defense because they shut down the play. They had the play stopped, and then Marvel was able to create and make a nice run.
Jackrabbits had only turned the football over 6 times in their first 8 games. A fumble and a pick in the first half, and nearly a fumble there. Basinger stays on the field as the Jacks shift 3 different players before the snap on 2nd down and 5. Marble falling down, flipped it back to Basinger, and disaster for South Dakota State. C.J. Davis, the nickel, throws Basinger back at the 42. Where do you want to start with this one?
Well, first thing we start with is his stance. Okay, you see how low he's getting down in there with a split stance. He puts his right foot very close to the back foot of the center. And you can see how his foot gets stepped on because it's in there tight. You can see he's not real comfortable under center. He's more of a shotgun quarterback. He's 6'4". And he needs more reps getting under center. Teams need to be going under center so you're not so predictable on run and pass situations. But never, ever turn and just throw it to the running back like that. Just take the negative play and don't make it worse.
After quick review, the quarterback's knee was down at the 37.5-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
So they have said that Marble's knee was down before that inadvised toss. And so the Jacks will gain 4 yards out of this. And instead of 3rd and nearly 12, it's 3rd and about 8.
Yeah, when he gets that right foot that close, he's got to get that foot out right away. And when he pivots off that, it's going to get stepped on frequently.
And you could be in 4-down territory here. Marble sends Basinger out of the backfield. He'll throw it to him. And Basinger able to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. Well, Indiana State stretched it out well, and now decision time for Dan Jackson. Because from here, it's about a 55-yard field goal.
Yeah, and like earlier, we had a similar situation. It's one where you call a safe play to get a couple yards, knowing that you're going to go for it on 4th down. Not able to get many yards there, though, putting yourself in a tough 4th down situation.
And the Jackrabbits have a total yards advantage of better than 3-1 today. Yeah. But the 2 turnovers and the kickoff return has Indiana State in front.
Well, and they could quick kick here, too, but it doesn't look like they're going to.
Marble will throw. And it is incomplete. could have been intercepted by Drew Covington, but the Sycamores actually gained field position by him not coming up with them.
Yeah, as some of his teammates are frustrated he didn't, but it's better that he didn't because saved him about 8 yards. But not a good throw there, though, for the Jackrabbits.
So it's Indiana State with the ball and a 10-6 lead in the third on the Integra Cooperative scoreboard. Cooperative scoreboard. There's a look at Luke Marble and a couple of the things he's accomplished today with his arm and his legs.
Well, this was a beautiful pass here. It was big, too. It was a third down, and they were able to end up getting a field goal on that drive. This one is a poor read, and then he's able to make something happen and then show some excitement. This is what you want to see from your quarterback at the end of this play. He did get moved backwards there, too, by the way.
Ended up with a 17-yard run on that scramble, and he's thrown for 126. You're beautiful, you know that?
Yeah.
Indiana State from its own 36. Keegan Patterson, 6 out of 13 for 42 yards today. The fourth-year junior out of Longmont, Colorado. The long hole, finally a handoff, and that's a fine play by Dante Johnson to bring down Deion Brown in the backfield.
Oh, it's great patience, too. Just waited, stayed in his gap, let the running back come to him, and then a great tackle right through his legs.
Sycamores again using the entire field with the alignment of the 3 wide receivers. Patterson a fake, catch by Singleton, and he's brought down by Kyton Fife, the linebacker again, but a nice gain to the 45, so it's third down and about a yard and a half. And here's that tempo of Indiana State.
It's tempo, but they're being very conservative and controlled because they know the other team's offense is struggling, and so, hey, let's not be foolish and turn the ball over here.
That is always the battle of a tempo offense, trying not to take away from your defense. Third and a yard and a half. Patterson with an empty set here. He'll keep, and he'll pick up the first down.
Well, it's a good decision, too, to let me steam ahead and get the first down. Patterson doing a good job of managing here because you can tell they're really trying to work to not put themselves in a bad situation here.
Third first down of the game for the Sycamore offense comes at the 8-minute mark of the third, but they're on top on the road, 10-6. Sioka, the tight end, motions. The give to Deion Brown, and he got given back by Cullen McShane. That's a loss of 4.
Yeah, and it's almost like Indiana State is just, we can't move the ball on this defense, but what we can do is try to play a field position game and then at times pick our moments to take a shot downfield. When can we get Rochelle one-on-one?
7.5 tackles for loss for McShane, the fourth-year junior who calls Marquette, Iowa home. 2nd and 14 for Patterson. He hits the tight end Lance Reese, who jumps over a man, and Ullman hits him to the turf right at the sticks, and they're going to say first down. Reese goes for 14. How about that effort after the grab?
I'm not sure what happened to Miles Taylor there. He bailed, and there was miscommunication. Half the coverage was man, and half was Taylor was playing zone. They left the tight end wide open in the flats.
Runs straight up the middle, and McShane torpedoed in to bring down Deion Brown after a couple. The transfer from Eastern Michigan, where he spent his first 2 seasons growing up in St. Louis, Missouri. Well, Indiana State in control right now, a 4-point lead, and the ball on the move at the Jackrabbit 41. Keegan Patterson going deep. It is incomplete, and there's a flag. Rochelle got tied up with Jaden Oliver, the corner.
The thing Rochelle does so well here that many receivers won't do is he continues to fight to get close to the football. He goes around the defensive back, creating even more contact.
Defense number 1, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And so when the official sees him getting blocked to get to the ball, it's an easy call for him then. Yeah, you'll watch. See, he'll come around. See, he's on the inside. He fights to get to the outside. And the contact's minimal, but when you see that restricting his effort, you're going to make that call.
3rd penalty of the afternoon on South Dakota State. And the Sycamore scrimmage from the 26 of SDSU. Patterson on the roll. And that's a leaping grab if he stayed in bounds, and Rochelle did. Rashad Rochelle with his 2nd grab of today. That's an impressive catch on the Jackrabbit boundary for a gain of 8.
Oh, and great play by Patterson. Draws the defense to him. You know, the defense breaks down. He gets out of containment, lets the safety attack at him, drops it off to Rochelle.
First time either team has been in the Actegra Cooperative red zone today. Patterson brings Brown in motion, fakes it to him. Gets rid of it to the tight end Reese, who gets upended by Dante Johnson after a gain of 4, and it's a first down for the Sycamores. This is the longest Indiana State drive based on both yards and time today, Curtis.
Yeah, some of it's broken plays. Those happen, but they're doing just enough to keep this going. You can tell they're trying to slow down their offense. I mean, this is very slow tempo for them, and they're trying to manage rather than just try to create pressure on SDSU.
Domino motions. Comes back the other way. Patterson fakes it to him. And Rochelle, a diving grab in the end zone for an Indiana State touchdown. His 3rd receiving grab of the year, and the senior out of Springfield, Illinois, has given the Sycamores a double-digit lead in the 3rd quarter.
I'm not sure how he gets so open. It looks like the corner must have came up on the fly sweep action. The 2 tight ends cross like a mesh route. Great protection, though, for Patterson. And a nice call. Good call and a good situation there for Indiana State.
Sebastian Lopez for the extra point. And he puts it through. This is the 5th time in the last 8 games Indiana State has played a team ranked in the top 10, and they have the Jacks on upset alert.
What is generational success? Keeping.
The Integra Cooperative scoreboard shows Indiana State with a 17-6 lead over number 4 South Dakota State, and the Sycamores with an impressive 64-yard drive. They had 65 yards the whole first half.
Yeah, and 4 of 11, I think Patterson was, and just 2 first downs is all. And they come out, get a couple big first downs, and then cap it off with a nice play design to Rochelle.
Well, it's not an accident that the best drive of the day for Indiana State was the one Rashad Rochelle's been the most involved in.
True. Yeah, we had not seen him at all the first half besides the kickoff return. He's a guy that needs to touch the ball a lot.
So the Spencer Conrad kickoff to the goal line. And Jack Smith out to the 22-yard line. He got banged down by Jameer Pendleton, the freshman out of Chicago. So the Jackrabbits take over, trying to avoid back-to-back losses for just the second time in the last decade.
I'm your baby, baby bell.
The snack with nothing to hide. 100% real cheese. Baby Bell, the fun kind of good.
Why just take care when you could take good care? For over 80 years, our community has trusted us to be the store they can count on. With your local Lewis, find expert pharmacy services, pet supplies,
Sanford Health, the exclusive orthopedics and sports medicine provider of the Jackrabbits.
Well, this crowd that is amassed at Dana J. Dykow Stadium was happy to see those trees standing tall around Dana J. Dykow Stadium. Not so happy to see the other trees, the one that came from Terre Haute, Indiana, standing tall at the moment. 17-6, the Sycamores leading the Jackrabbits. What does the SDSU offense do to get out of this funk right now, Curtis?
Well, they need someone to make a play, something that creates some energy that they can feed off of. They're going to have to score. They're going to have to think about 2-point conversion plays and not panic, though.
Bullock makes the reception, kept his knee above the ground, tried to turn upfield and got maybe an extra yard. He gets 4 on first down.
Indiana State, Tyler, one thing they're doing very well, the RPOs, even though Marble's making the right read, they're doing a good job getting in his face, hitting him every time, so it's a difficult throw for him.
Jacks go tempo here, trying to build some momentum. Josiah Johnson bounces off a tackle and builds some momentum, not only himself, but potentially for his team, as he gains 10 yards.
Well, and people want to play safety. You see Camo Clark here. He comes from about 15 yards, runs straight downhill, collides with the running back at the line of scrimmage. You hear that hit and able to still bounce off that.
Sam Hagan, one of the co-captains, the starting right tackle, having his right leg looked at. Again, the Jackrabbits have been so banged up. No Lofton Ogroski, no Chase Mason. Rolled up at the end.
Yeah, it's always the difficult part. You don't see that as often with linemen. Receivers, you see it frequently, though. The play will just get ran up right on the back of their legs. Hopefully he's okay there here. You know, a good hard run, though. Clark for Indiana State, good player, very aggressive. I mean, he's almost like a glorified linebacker back there.
Well, Hagan standing. You see Chad Kurtenbach, Charlie Miller, the SDSU head athletic trainer, Kurtenbach of the Sanford Health medical team, and then Dan Jackson, the head coach, all there. So Nate Adams is checked in. The Jacks do work offensive linemen out at other spots in case situations like this occur, so they can shift some linemen around. So while Adams isn't typically in a situation like this, they'll slide Big Bo out to right tackle, and Adams comes in at right guard. Jacks have a 1st and 10 from their own 34. It's a gain of about 4 on the ground. It's Johnson again, and that is the thing he does. He will pound you 30 yards on 7 rushes.
Yeah, and this one is a good choice by him. He runs straight ahead. There's no room to make a room on Covington. He just runs right through him. He says, if you're going to try to tackle me, I'm going to make you pay for it here, and he did.
2nd and 6. Marble 14 of 22 for 130 yards passing. And he has that 17-yard scramble as well. He will keep, and he's got some green in front of him, and then took a shot down around the knees at the 44-yard line from Kamal Clark. But it will be a 1st down of 6 yards, but you don't like to see that if you're Eric Eidsmith.
Yeah, and you saw Kamal Clark. Watch this. You'll see him come out of nowhere here. Boom, there he is, and he's just licking his chops, thinking, oh, the quarterback's out here. I got a shot at him. And a really good tackle taking out those long legs.
I got him up closer to the thigh on the right side, as a matter of fact. That's the 12th tackle for Clark. He has 97 on the year. He was the Northeast Conference Defensive Player of the Year at Central Connecticut State last season. At the 45 of SDSU's own, it's 1st and 10. Sycamores jumped early. It's a free play, but Johnson on the run will cross into Sycamore territory to the 47. That's 9 yards.
You know, it's one where do you take 2nd and 2 or 1st and 5?
Offside, defense, number 35.
I think they're going to decline it. You saw the burst there, though. He got in the open field and just a quick burst. That's what you want to see, that acceleration.
And they mark it at the 47 of Indiana State. The line to gain is just shy of the 45. As you see Dan Jackson in the middle of your picture, the first-year head coach of South Dakota State. And there's Marble, the redshirt freshman out of the northwestern Atlanta suburb of Smyrna, Georgia, Campbell High School. On 2nd and short, it's Johnson again for a 1st down carry to the 44 of Indiana State.
Indiana State squeezes this play down well. They squeeze down. They take Picka out of the play, who's trying to kick out the defensive end. But Johnson sees an opening, just goes to it right away. Good job just getting the 1st down.
And 34 with a flat tire. He lost his shoes, so while they fix that on the sidelines, Basinger is in for the Jacks at tailback. From the Indiana State 44. Bullock on the screen. And that is well defended by Nit Yaksko.
Alex Bullock with the catch, loss on the play.
Jackson lose 2.
And even right there, it was an RPO, and you'll watch. Marble's got a guy coming right at him right there that's going to put a hit on him on that quick throw. Those hits really start to add up, and that's why I think that's one of the reasons Eidsmith is getting the ball out of Marble's hands quick, so he's not having to feel that pressure and think about, I got to get rid of it, I got to get rid of it.
2nd and 12. Bullock is lined up behind the quarterback Marble. It's Johnson running left, broke 1 tackle, throws a stiff arm and drags a man to the Indiana State 37-yard line. That's 9 yards, and the Jacks with a 3rd and short because of the effort by Josiah Johnson, who has 6 rushes for 32 yards on this drive.
Well, and we said Gustad there. It's one of the few times we've seen him. He gets a nice kick-out block right there to give him a chance to get down the sideline.
The Jacks playing without Hagan on the offensive line. So he went out with an injury earlier on this series. So they shift Big Bo to right tackle. Hagan at right guard with Willenbring at center. Pepke and Christensen on the left side of the line. Marble under center. Here's Bullock, and Indiana State was waiting for that. Nathan Gonzalez, the junior from Bell Gardens, California, throws Bullock back. That's a loss of almost 5.
Well, and people are probably saying, well, the guy wasn't even blocked. Well, that's the idea of the play. That's the concept. The line goes hard the opposite way. You expect the defense to flow with it, and the guy just runs by you. Well, there Gonzalez went for the ball carrier immediately.
So the Jackrabbits will have a 4th and 6 at the Sycamore 40 when the fourth quarter begins. It's 17-6 Indiana State after 3. Dakota State, and it's a tough day in the top 10. North Dakota losing to South Dakota, and then you have number 2 Tarleton State trailing, 6th ranked UC Davis trailing, and SDSU down 11, so rough day to be in the top 10 right now.
Well, huge win for USD. I mean, great win for them. They definitely needed that, and I think that makes next week even more interesting. But the Jacks got to get through this one first.
And they will go for it on 4th and 6 at the Indiana State 40. Hard count didn't work. Play clock at 10.
He's going to punt here now. Nope.
Marble had a dandy against North Dakota State last week. This will bounce inside the 10 and go out of bounds. So the pooch punt by Marble puts Indiana State at its own 6. So a 34-yard punt by Marble. And it'll be up to that Jackrabbit defense to try to get something going.
Well, I know a lot of people probably get frustrated by that, but that's a great call. A great call. And the reason why is because your defense is much better than your 4th down offense right there. And pin them back. Indiana State's offense, yes, they scored last drive, but they hadn't done anything up until that point. So you're counting on the best part of your team to come out and get you a stop here.
And the Jackrabbits have a 1 touchdown in the last 7 quarters of football. Patterson the handoff, and Nick Osho able to rush for 3 or 4 yards. Combination tackle by Joe Ullman and Noah Thompson.
And you saw Ullman taking on the block with his left shoulder and making a tackle with his right one. And if he wouldn't have, I think Osho would have had some room to run there.
Osho's only had 5 carries today. Indiana State in no hurry to snap this football, which, as we talked about, is not the Sycamore offensive personality under John Baer, the former Bucknell offensive coordinator. On second down, Patterson will pull it. He'll throw down the left side. First down and more out near the 40 to B.J. Weiss. That's just the 4th reception of the year for the Danville, Indiana native. What a great throw and catch for a gain of 32.
And this is lazy by Isaiah Johnson. He gets caught looking in the backfield. Plus, he's wide, giving him the entire middle of the field to get to, and is surprised by it. He's surprised by the play call there.
Longest pass play of the day for Indiana State, then the first down carry by Osho, and Cullen McShane, still sporting that club on his left hand, makes the tackle for no gain.
Yeah, nice throw by Patterson, but you saw he stood there, waited, and was watching that side of the field the entire time.
2nd and 10. Patterson slings it down the field, and the ball tipped away by Kobe Bretz. That's the 6th pass breakup of the year for the former Nebraska Cornhusker. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, the Jacks got lucky again there. They went a cut cover 2, it's called, where Johnson will shoot in as the corner, and the safety will come up and help. But the tight end, Reese, for Indiana State, went right down the sideline with no one on him. Patterson never saw him.
Sycamores 3 out of 8 on 3rd downs. Jacks have 6 men at the line. They only come with 3. It's a screen to Osho, and he will get about 4 is all, as the Jackrabbits didn't come with the all-out blitz and were able to sniff out the screen.
They are one of the best defenses at getting off the blocks in the open field. They're so good at getting off those blocks, avoiding a block, rallying to the ball, because that play looked like it was going to get about 25 yards.
Harry Traum, 4 punts, a 44-yard average today. The Australian will kick it to Miles Taylor, the Arizonan. Special teams has been a big factor today all the way around. Traum just did manage to get this one away, and Taylor the fair catch, hovering at his own 20. Call it 38 on the punt. And South Dakota State has some work to do, trailing 17-6 on the Integra Cooperative scoreboard.
What's your
Indiana State with an 11-point lead here in the 4th quarter. This is a Sycamore defense that's been giving up 491 yards and 45 points per game, but they've held the Jacks to just 65 yards on 15 plays in this second half.
Well, and you watch, I mean, Clark's been a huge part of it, but, I mean, big hit again right there by Clark. But Gonzalez right here plays that fly sweep. It just seems like they're maybe half a step ahead here, and they're counting on Marble not being able to make the plays, and they've gambled correctly so far.
Jacks from their own 19. Marble. He has Bullock diving in front of the Indiana State sideline, and they are going to rule that a catch.
This is a great catch by Bullock. I mean, this is a great play, but Marble's got to give him a chance to just run with it here.
The Indiana State sideline was contending he didn't hang on.
Yeah, and it's going to get looked at. There was a little bit of a bobble there, it looked like.
Ruling on the field is a completed pass for a first down. The previous play is under further review.
Yeah, and what great time for this this play call. Well protected too.
Timeout on the field. This will be a full media timeout.
Now remember, this was called a catch on the field. So while Gary Delaney, our replay official, takes a look, we'll step aside. 17-6, the Sycamores lead it.
At Taco John's.
Can find a way to rally from this 11-point deficit. This would be a 25-yard catch if it stands, Curtis.
It'd be a big one. The Jacks offense definitely could use it. You and I both thought the point hits the ground. We're going to hear right here.
Jason Perkins said the call was upheld. And remember, that's new terminology this year. They will not say confirmed. So they'll say it's either staying as the call or changing. So we don't know if anything was confirmed or they just couldn't tell. But either way, it counts. And that may be the biggest break of this game for South Dakota State.
Really is. And you and I both agreed that if they changed it, it would be hard to argue that. And keeping it, it was probably difficult to really be able to overrule if the ground made it move.
Bullock with 5 receptions today, 47 on the year. Marble wants to go deep. And the ball tapped away from Bullock, getting his hand on it at Xavier Andrews. And that was a telegraphed throw.
Well, they try to fake the bubble screen, thinking Indiana State's going to attack, and you'd have 2 guys down the seam. But you're right. I mean, he locked in, and the corner bailed the entire time. You can't force it just because it's the play call, and that's what Luke did there.
Jackrabbits, 309 yards of offense, 182 passing, 127 rushing. Marble, 16 of 25 on the day with that costly pick in the end zone. Josiah Johnson, and he's unable to make anything go here. He's trying to get back to the line. Colton Gajewski assisted in stopping his forward progress after a couple of feet, maybe. It's going to be 3rd down and long.
Well, and you come back with the run play right after that home run hitter because you want to get some yards, and Indiana State doing a good job. They just have this bend but don't break mentality against the run game of SDSU.
Pika is into the game to spell Gannon at tight end on 3rd and long.
Well, and that's just to have another blocker. Yeah, they're going a heavier protection set.
3 wides right, and Josiah Johnson the back. It's Johnson on a big hitter. First down and more to the 40 of Indiana State. 14 yards. That's the longest run by a running back for South Dakota State today.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a huge gamble by Coach Eisnes, because this is one, if he gets tackled for a 1 or 2 yard gain, people are like, what in the hell was that? But he dialed it up with the slant, and he looks like a genius there. Now you got some momentum going off that first down. Yeah, many people said that to me often, too.
2nd and 3 after 7 more from Johnson. Jacks go tempo. Johnson for a yard or 2 more. Pyle kept going to the 31. It'll be 3rd down and short. You know, if you just let your guard down one of these days, Curtis.
Yeah. I just have no idea when is the ball carrier stop now. You're in my head about this now. I'm just flustered because I saw him get pushed back 3 yards here. They didn't blow the whistle. Here he's just floating in air. I don't know. We're so caught up in the tush push. We're not sure how to call it anymore.
Gustad, the only back behind Marble. And it's a handoff to Bullock around the left edge. It'll be a first down.
Yeah, what a good call. This time, Coach Eisnes doesn't give the end a chance to chase it. Watch, he blocks it. You'll see up here, he picks him up right there. Nice job making sure they were protected.
It's a 4th rush by Bullock today. Ran over a ball boy there on the other side.
Yeah, I saw someone go over the signage. That's commitment there. Hazard pay for that.
From the Sycamore 26, James Basinger broke away from one tackle in the backfield, but he does finally go down behind the line of scrimmage. Nick Yatsko, yet again, he and Clark have both had tremendous games in that Indiana State secondary.
Yeah, and this is Basinger's fault, though. He's just expecting an automatic cutback there. He's got to press that one. That DN went into the tight end, pushed him upfield. Don't just think it's going to be there every time. Still read it and react, just like your instincts will tell you.
Basinger to Marble's right on 2nd and 11. Screen to Smith, who couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, and this is Luke. He sees the blitz coming. He knows it's coming. I got to get rid of it quick. He has to flip his hips all the way around and try to make that throw, and it's just low. And thankfully, the Jacks get lucky there that Smith doesn't pop it up to a defender.
Yatsko and Covington were both breathing down the neck of Marble. This 3rd and 11, Jacks are actually 6 of 13 on 3rd downs today.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily 2 downs because you still need a field goal in this too.
Delahoy, the tight end, motions out as a wide out to the top of your screen. Marble with a good pocket. He's got Bullock, who makes the catch inbounds. Touchdown, Jackrabbits.
Well, great adjustment to the football. He turns his body all the way around. I think he's able to get his right foot down. You only need 1 foot in college. I thought they were going to get a hold right there. Yeah, that right foot is down. Great job by Bullock. Yep, right there. Great shot, too, by the crew. Got to go for 2 here.
The concentration and the body control of Alex Bullock for his 3rd touchdown of the year, and the Jacks will go for 2. You get to pick where you want to spot the ball. They want it on the near side. Johnson back in. It's a reverse. Garcia Castaneda, and he won't get there.
Well, and the trouble is Marble doesn't get out fast enough, and so one guy is covering Marble and still able to come up and tackle. The spacing got caught up because Marble wasn't out quick enough.
Yeah, because that was a possible throw by Garcia Castaneda.
Yeah.
He could have done either. So South Dakota State in the end zone for the first time today, but still trails by 5 in the 4th quarter.
on Midcoast Sports is presented by Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
The Integra Cooperative scoreboard, Indiana State has led most of this game. And a 17-12 lead over South Dakota State. And Kurt Mallory happy with what he's seen from his team on this upset bid. Dan Jackson trying to figure out a way just to survive today.
Yeah, boy, it says a lot about Mallory. I just can't. I mean, he's 26-61, and he's been there 9 years. He's doing a lot of things really well besides the win-loss situation, which says a lot for him.
Of course, the new boss at Terre Haute, Nathan Christensen, been there a little more than a year. Former Jackrabbit, a member of the administration here at SDSU, then took that job at Terre Haute. He's in the booth directly to our right, observing all of the festivities as the Sycamores up 5 with the ball here with 8:36 left in the fourth quarter. The Sycamores, their first 22 plays, gained only 46 yards, but they've gained 111 on their last 2 drives, including the touchdown in this half. Patterson off the play fake. The pass is caught. Aiden Donnerman brings down Brian Domino at the 32 after 7 yards.
Nice job by Patterson, too. He's reading the corner here. They put 2 hitches in front of him. He's just got to pick the one that isn't covered by the corner.
2nd and 3 for Keegan Patterson, who has completed 15 out of 23 today for 131. Jacks rush 4. Patterson. Back shoulder throw incomplete. Domino the intended wideout. Dante Johnson the coverage, setting up 3rd and 2.
Yeah, it is defended very well. Patterson really had no choice. That was about the only throw he could have attempted, but the coverage was excellent. Yeah, right now, Tyler, you have one team that's won a lot of close games, and you have one team that's lost a lot of games. And so you'll start to feel that pressure really turn on to Indiana State more so than SCSU here.
3rd and 3. Jacks show blitz. Will they come with it? Yes. Patterson hangs in, throws it deep. He had a man open, but he overshot Domino. And Domino, you can see smacking his helmet. He is frustrated because if Patterson has another split second, that might be a touchdown.
Well, and Dante Johnson falls down because you're right, he's wide open. Oh, yeah, they had it there. But that's what we're talking about. One team's able to make those plays, and one has had many difficulties being able to get that.
Traum at his own 18 to punt it to Miles Taylor. Got it away, good height. Taylor backs up to his own 27, and he'll lose 5 on the return, and there's a flag on top of things as well. Nick Yatsko, who has had double-digit tackles on defense, and he had the strip and the recovery on the fake punt earlier in the game.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a block in the back, so you know, he probably should have fair caught this, and it's going to end up turning worse for the Jacks here.
The Jacks could lose, what, 13, 14 yards out of this. It was a 39-yard punt. So the officials corroborating all of this of where the flag was thrown. And
there is no foul on the play for an illegal block in the back. First down, South Dakota State at the 22-yard line.
That's a break for SDSU. That flag gets picked up.
Yeah, that's a huge break. I'm sure Coach Mallory's like, how do you see it and not throw it? Look at him. He's giving them the, hey, don't even talk to me. I don't even want to hear it.
They turned around and did point the finger at one official.
Yep, you're wrong, I'm right.
Again, he played at Michigan, 1992 alum, so you got a little Gary Moeller and Bo Schembechler in there. Of course, his dad, the head coach at Indiana in the late 80s. Jacks from their own 22. Marble will keep, and he's got room. And boy, took a big hit, but finished. The ball came out well after he was down, it appeared. Yeah. Marble to the 37 for 15. Logan Wilson protesting it should be Sycamore ball.
Well, he needs to learn how to slide, because if he's not going to make a move, I mean, he's a running statue. Boom. Like that is just not safe at all. And Clark is not one to try to slow down before contact. So Luke's, hey, I got a good run here. Let me just get down and we'll keep going.
14th tackle of the afternoon for Clark. Jacks from their own 37. Bullock motions to the bottom of your screen. Basinger broke one tackle, and somehow he gets 3 yards on what should have been a multiple-yard loss. How about the effort of the freshman running back?
Yeah, that was a really tough run. I mean, Basinger, he stopped for a 1-yard loss, and he just keeps carrying him for 4 more yards there.
Basinger today with 43 yards on 12 rushes. Josiah Johnson has 75 on 14 attempts. Basinger again. Clark there to meet him, but he actually got hit forward by another Sycamore defender.
Well,
Alex Rose.
And this is just poor defense by Indiana State. I don't know for the life of me why the DN would fly at Marble and let the running back run just underneath. I mean, Marble's least of the threats there, and Coach Eisnes has got to be thank you very much for doing that.
No confusion on personnel here for South Dakota State as they go big on 3rd and short. Sycamore subs, the Jacks have to allow it. Basinger behind Marble on 3rd and a yard. And Basinger will pick up a first down and more to the Sycamore 46. That's 8 yards.
Basinger's very good at keeping his shoulders square and the little quick side steps. You'll see it here. Watch, he's expecting contact, so he keeps those shoulders square, protects the ball, and then is able to run and finish the run, getting positive yards too.
1st and 10 for the Jackrabbits.
Basinger 3 rushes, 17 yards on this drive. Johnson back in. Marble fakes it to him. On the roll. He will keep. And he'll end up out of bounds. They'll mark him just inside of the 45. So Marble for a little more than a yard.
Yeah, and he's right there. He pointed to Gannon. Hey, just block that guy. Gannon was kind of caught out of position to be able to do that. Marble made the right choice. He didn't have anyone open. Let me just get 2 yards here instead of trying to make a play out of nothing.
Jackrabbits receive the opening kickoff and connected on a field goal. Indiana State returned the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown and has led ever since. Jacks trying to go ahead. We're under 5 to play. Marble on the keep. He managed to get away from one, but got buried by 3 more Sycamore defenders. Maybe gained a yard. The risk not worth the reward on that one. And you can see he's feeling it.
There's certain guys that are just really bad dancers, myself included. I think Luke's going to be in that category too, because you can see, get rid of that dancing. Just run. Just go straight ahead. Right there. He doesn't need to make that little hop step. That's what slows down, lets the defense get there. Get those extra 3 yards just running ahead right there and put yourself in a better situation for 3rd down.
4-down territory here for the Jackrabbits with 4 minutes to play. 4-man rush. Marble. Pass deflected at the line. He had Garcia Castaneda, but the ball never got there, and it is 4th down.
Yeah, and it would have been about a 3-4 yard gain. He would have got tackled probably right away, but you're right, he was open. He kind of held it, though. Since that, he waited on it instead of throwing right when he was open.
Jacks are 0 of 3 on 4th downs today and 5 of 18 on the year.
You know, and quick kicking again here isn't a total bad option. They have 3 timeouts. Still 4 minutes left.
Well, Marble is in the gun.
They're going to blitz him, though.
Marble takes a shot, and he overthrew Bullock, incomplete, who was covered tightly by Amon Glass.
And he had Gannon wide open coming across there. He locked in, and Bullock had to go inside out on the cover 2 up there. this is where Marble's got to get his eyes off that. You see, there's Clark would have been there even if it was a good throw.
So Indiana State with a 5-point lead and the ball with 3:53 to play. Now, as you mentioned, Curtis, Jacks do have all 3 timeouts, plus the break at the 2-minute, and Marble hobbled off the field, and Hallie Hall, one of the athletic trainers, talking with him. But Indiana State will look to ensure he never sees the ball again. Joe Ullman has other ideas as he holds up the running back Nick Osho. It's 2nd down.
Well, that's a great job. The Jacks got to get 3 and out here. You can tell Indiana State's saying, we'll try to get this 1st down, but we also feel like our defense can get a stop too. They're going to play it close. If it's a throw, it's going to be his first read type throw.
Down the middle of the field, he hits Rashad Rochelle in stride. Touchdown, Indiana State. 57 yards from Patterson to Rochelle for his 2nd receiving touchdown of the afternoon.
Well, and we talked earlier, we said when the Jacks feel like they're running, they'll play press man even on Rochelle, which at some point Indiana State was going to come back to. And right here, Rochelle he shows them, hey, I'm one of the best. I play for Indiana State, but I'm still one of the best in this conference. You can't cover me man-to-man.
Rochelle spent his first 2 years at Rutgers. This is 2nd in Terre Haute. A dual threat quarterback in high school, and he scored 3 touchdowns today. 2 receiving scores and the kickoff return that really set the stage for everything today for the visitors from Terre Haute.
I think Patterson's played a really good game. I think the tempo has been more beneficial for him too, with slowing down their NASCAR style. But much of that is attributed to the coaches adjusting to, hey, our defense is playing really well. Let's don't try to get 95 plays. Let's try to just manage this game and let our defense keep getting stops.
Patterson, 11 of 14 in this half for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns after he threw for a pedestrian 32 in the opening 30 minutes.
And you pointed out too, the 2 touchdown drives they've had, Rochelle was a part of it also. First half, he wasn't relevant on the offense. Now they figured out, hey, that guy's pretty good. Let's incorporate him in the offense, and they get touchdowns.
So the Jacks down 12 with 3:06 to play. Will need to work quickly. The Spencer Conrad kickoff into the hands of Jack Smith at the 7. And Smith down the near sideline into Indiana State territory. Hit out of bounds at the 43 of the Sycamores.
It's a great job. Watch this crease he's able to get through. This is what's so scary, kick returners. Watch, he just squeezes through that. You don't know if someone's waiting there for you. And then no dancing, just run and get as many yards as you can. That's a really good return.
50-yard return for Smith. That's the longest kickoff return by a Jackrabbit this season. So from the Indiana State 43, Jack Henry, the quarterback, will hit Gannon over the middle for a gain of nearly 10. In fact, they are going to move the sticks. It's a first down.
And that's a good job by Henry. He sees Gannon, throws to him quick. Don't think about it.
Henry to throw. Low and incomplete. Try to throw to Smith on the out.
Yeah, and he's got to get his feet moving at the target there. He's kind of facing straight ahead. He's got to let his feet guide him.
This Jackrabbit offense, just a mash unit right now. Yeah. Half the running back room that they intended to have in the spring. You have Marble out right now. Remember, he hobbled off after the last series. No Chase Mason, no Lofted Ogroski. Henry to throw. Great athlete. He'll throw on the run. Incomplete. Threw a bullet towards Bullock. Now there is a flag just beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you're going to get an offsides and a hole. It's going to be one of each. You know, I didn't think he needed to take off out of the pocket there. He saw the blitz coming, but it got picked up. That's also what the hold came from, I think, here.
So 3 officials trying to sort this out. It's Kurt Mallory, the Indiana State head coach, and then Dan Jackson. So again, we have a flag on the near sideline, a couple of yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and one in the backfield.
By both teams on the play. Offside, defense number 95. Holding. Offense, number 32. Those fouls offset. Second down.
Jackrabbits do have all 3 timeouts and 2:33 to go.
Yeah, and you really want to hold those. You got to press the ball down the field here because they need 2 touchdowns, and you want to maintain those timeouts and that two minute.
Henry to throw. Kamal Clark, almost a game-clinching interception. He stepped in front and knocked it away, but couldn't quite haul it in.
Boy, that was a beautiful play by Clark, undercutting this, because it did look like it was a great throw. It looked like Gannon was open. It's a long throw, but Clark makes a big breakup.
So 3rd and 10 for the Jackrabbits at the 33 of the Sycamores. Jack Henry's pass caught by Grayton Gannon. Down to the 18 to the Sycamores.
They need to get going. They need to get a playoff before the 2-minute here.
And again, Henry had been the number 3 quarterback up until a couple of weeks ago. This isn't something you rep a whole lot with your backup quarterbacks. Henry from the 18. Just out of the reach of Jack Smith as SDSU in the Integra Cooperative red zone for the 2nd time today.
Oh, it's a good shot, though. A little bit of contact at the end. Yeah, and that's part of that timing. 2 guys that they've probably never thrown that route to each other in practice right there, especially in a hurry-up setting like this.
The number 2 quarterback typically takes about 1/3 of the reps for Eric Eidness' offense. So the last couple of weeks, he has taken some of those reps, but before that, he never really had because, again, he was behind both Chase Mason and Luke Marble. Henry cannot get away, or can he? No, he cannot. Staying with the play and finally securing the sack, Caleb Harris, the redshirt freshman.
Yeah, and Henry needs to, he'll learn this with reps. Don't run outside of that defensive end like that.
Indiana State trying to pull off the upset in Brookings, leading by 12.
What is generational success?
Better future with South Dakota State University. And by Peterson Farms Seed.
South Dakota State trailing Indiana State 24-12 with 1:57 to play. The Jacks have it at the Sycamore 33. And this is a 3rd down and extra long. Jack Henry throwing deep for Alex Bullock, and the pass was out of bounds. Bullock trying to claim he was interfered with, but the contact happened beyond the boundary, and the Jacks are down to one last play.
Yeah, he gets pushed. He draws the contact, but he's 2 yards out of bounds, just like you said.
I mean, it's worth a shot, I guess, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got to give him a chance, so you got to keep that in bounds.
And the Jacks would need a conversion here, a score, and then either an onside kick or a quick 3-and-out and another score. That's the only way to do this. But again, they have to get to the 8 of Indiana State on this play. And a timeout to Indiana State.
They're first of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Well, we've already seen one top 10 team lose, that North Dakota. There are 2 others besides this game. Top 10 teams trailing right now, and then Indiana State can taste this.
Well, and the Jacks had the longest win streak at home in FCS, and now 2 in a row here, which you've said it's been a long time.
Our PS Garage Doors player of the game, who else but Rashad Rochelle. 84 receiving yards on 4 catches, 2 of them for touchdowns, and this kickoff return. The first time Indiana State touches the football, Rochelle goes 95 to the house and really just set the tempo for everything for the visitors today.
Well, he's not flashy. I mean, he's not, but he just glides. He just goes, and every guy that tried to think they could come up and cover him, he made them pay.
So here it is, 4th down. Jack Henry gets sacked. Sacked by Jaden Childers. 4th sack of the day for Indiana State. And the Sycamores are about to snap their 6-game losing skid as they come on the road and upset a top 5 squad.
Well, and they only rushed 3. I mean, that should not happen right there. But credit to Indiana State. Doing a nice job getting pressure and not giving Henry even a chance to throw the ball there.
So with 1:47 to play, it's Sycamore football. Now the Jackrabbits do have their full allotment of timeouts. So they can make Indiana State work for this here offensively. Ball security is the biggest thing if you're a fan of the team in white. Osho holds on as Logan Green tosses him down, a loss of 1, and Dan Jackson will take his first time out. Well, for Indiana State, the Sycamores doesn't get any easier for them. They host Illinois State and go to Youngstown the next 2 weeks, but the Jackrabbits go to Vermillion for the rivalry game, then host nationally ranked Illinois State, then have to go to North Dakota to end the year against a program that entered today undefeated in the Valley. So you looked at November and said this, in theory, was the easiest of the 4 games, and Indiana State comes in and really executed what they did well as we look at what Indiana State has done on the road. Keep in mind now, Curtis, Indiana's 2nd in the FBS. Montana, of course, undefeated. Southern Illinois was a top 10 program at the time. UND undefeated at that time, and still got to go to Youngstown. So 2nd down and 11. Patterson will keep. Fife and Ripper up, bring him down after maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, and you're right. This is a game that's very winnable for the Jacks. And now it becomes, hey, let's quit thinking about seedings and where we might fit in with the playoffs. And it comes down to, hey, we got to win. We are a MASH unit, but that's no excuse. I mean, every kid is scholarshiped and they're playing, and we expect them to get the job done. And this is what all the coaches would say. We got to go out there and execute. And they haven't been able to do that today. And they're going to have an even bigger test next week because, now with USD winning and the Jacks losing, that's going to bring even more people in to see what happens at the Dakota Dome next week.
Saw Luke Marble on the bike. His status for next week becomes a big topic. And, of course, Chase Mason's as well. Who knows how quickly he's able to return. Patterson, the keeper, on third down. And he reaches midfield, 2 yards shy of the sticks, and we have a Jackrabbit down defensively.
Well, it'd still be a timeout.
Charge timeout. South Dakota State. Their third and final.
Yeah. It's just every time you see a Jackrabbit down like that, though, you're just like, oh, gosh.
Well, SDSU down 3 defensive starters today as well.
Well, and you even start to forget about guys like Reed, Kirschman, who they thought was going to be probably their best one.
Yeah, Wolfcale Holston just like friendly fire on a roll up there.
Yeah. Yeah, the coach part would still be, though, hey, 4th down, they got a punt. We can stop the clock on first downs out of bounds. We get 1 score, we get an onside kick, give us a chance to throw something up. It's always trying to think of, hey, we still got a chance, okay? And this is what we got to do. And that's what's great about sports is, if there's time and an opportunity, crazy things can happen.
Well, and you also think about long term here for a kid like Jack Henry. The chance to run 2-minute drill one more time. I mean, that can only benefit him in the future because you can do it all you want in practice. It's different in a game setting.
Yeah, way different. And in practice, they always don't touch the quarterback, let him throw. Here, you don't have those freebies. And you're right, just the feeling of game reps can never be replicated in practice. No matter what you're doing, it's still never the same.
So Wolfcale Holston, the 5th-year senior out of Gilbert, Arizona, checks out, and now, as you see, Rashad Rochelle, number 8 there, with 179 all-purpose yards today, leading the Sycamores on the brink of this upset. Miles Taylor is back deep. Trom quickly gets the punt away. Taylor will return it from his own 9. Out to the 23, and then we have a flag down.
Yeah, this was a terrible job. I didn't see the number, but it was a blindside block that just cost the Jacks 15 yards and was so needless.
41-yard punt for Trom. To sort out this penalty, as you review things, if you're a Jackrabbit, of course, you go back to the 2 first-half trips in Indiana State territory.
During the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block. Return team, number 38. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. First down, South Dakota State.
The Jacks were inside the 30 and Marble threw the pick in the end zone, and then you had the fake punt as well that the Jacks had a big play on and then couldn't finish the play on the fumble.
Yeah, and that's what coaches and players are going to do. They're going to go back and just think of all those moments and chances. It's tough. The biggest thing you look at, you say, well, no single play dictated it. And that's probably true here. There's been a lot of comprehensive parts of this game that have dictated Indiana State being ahead.
So Jack Henry remains the quarterback, and he is going to get sacked again. Sack number 5 by the Sycamore defense. Logan Wilson, the 6th-year senior out of Appleton, Wisconsin. Jacks again out of timeouts with a minute left.
Well, and Bullock had gone about 50 yards downfield, had to get all the way back here.
Bullock makes that catch. Again, he's a cross-country runner at this point almost. He's out of bounds at the 23 at 16 yards and a first down.
Yeah, and that was a nice throw. Good throw by Henry. Good pocket.
Again, clock does stop because the Jacks went out of bounds in the final 2 minutes. Henry 3 of 7 in this 4th quarter passing. fires incomplete in the direction of James Basinger.
One thing, when you watch the NFL in this situation, Tom Brady was the best at this. You just take that check down to the running back. He gets you 10 yards, and then you pick and choose when you're going to take that chance. Henry right now is saying, I got to get it down faster. Situation like that right there. Throw to that running back. Let him get your first down. The clock will stop. It's different in college than the NFL.
Henry's pass is caught. Jack Smith, but he's shy of the sticks. Inbounds, the clock runs.
Yeah, he made the choice of trying to make that guy miss rather than just fall forward and would have had the first.
So on 3rd and short, Henry down the middle to Garcia Castaneda, who makes the catch on the crossing route to his own 48, a pickup of 17.
Yeah, nice throw.
Clock restarts. To the boundary, and a nice job by Goring to keep a foot in bounds and make the catch, his 5th of the day.
Yeah, now he's got to throw something downfield towards out of bounds, and they've got 2 plays to get a score for you to have a chance to be able to onside kick and get 1 play at the end zone. It's a tall task.
Luke Marble left the game with an injury earlier in this quarter, so Jack Henry has quarterbacked the last 2 series. Henry from the Sycamore 48 throws high, ball deflected and intercepted. C.J. Davis, his first pick of his collegiate career, and that will seal it for Indiana State.
And that dreaded tip pass, it's an offensive nightmare. Bullock's trying to make a play, tips it up, and defense back there to pick it off.
Jacks had turned it over 6 times in the first 8 games. They turn it over 3 times today.
This is probably one of the biggest wins in Indiana State's, well, long time. I don't want to say history, but
this will snap a 9-game winning streak in the series for South Dakota State. You have to go back to the Shakir Bell days of 2011 for the last time Indiana State won in Brookings. The Sycamores come on the road and knock off South Dakota State 24-12. And the Jackrabbits have 2 road games in the Dakotas and a home contest with Illinois State, all 3 very much alive for the playoffs. Sam Hagan, another Jackrabbit who went down today, hobbling off. It was a long day in a variety of ways for South Dakota State as the Sycamores, a 24-12 winner on the Integra Cooperative scoreboard.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place.
presented by Sanford Health. Here for all, here for good.
Indiana State comes on the road and knocks off South Dakota State, snapping a 6-game losing skid. 24-12, the Sycamores a winner, and it's the first time in 6 seasons the Jacks have lost back-to-back games, and what an impressive performance by Indiana State.
It was. And the thing you have to give them credit for is they kind of got out of their identity of that NASCAR-style offense and said, you know what, our offense is not going to get in the way of us winning this game. They made plays when they had to, but their defense is what really won the game for them.
Well, let's take a look at our second half highlights brought to you by Avera Orthopedics. And I don't think it's any shock that Rashad Rochelle is involved in them.
Yeah, they figured that out too. Hey, our key guy hasn't touched the ball. We haven't scored any offensive touchdowns. Let's get him the ball, and they scored 2 touchdowns.
And then how about this grab by Alex Bullock for SDSU's lone touchdown of the day?
And boy, Marble needed that. He needed help from a receiver to make a big catch. He did. But Indiana State was able to stop the 2-point conversion try and just continue to keep that pressure on the Jackrabbit offense.
So we look at the final numbers. SDSU with an advantage in total yards, but the 3 turnovers huge. And again, the kickoff return by Rochelle of Indiana State of 95 yards to the house.
Well, and the last 3 are the glaring parts. 5 sacks, 4th down efficiency, 0 of 5, and then 3 big turnovers.
So the Jackrabbits dropping back-to-back games. Now they have 3 left, 2 on the road, and SDSU got to get back to the basics here and find out who's healthy for next week.
Yeah, the biggest key is not about playoffs or anything like that. It's, hey, we got to get a win, and we got our rival coming up here next.
For our producer, Carolyn Rosinski, director Joey Beltran, Curtis Riggs, and our entire Midco Sports crew, I'm Tyler Merriam. Thanks for joining us today from Dana J. Dykow Stadium. You've been watching Jackrabbit football on Midco Sports, your leader in regional sports coverage.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
Vince Lombardi, Herb Brooks, Phil Jackson, and Sparky Anderson. What do they all have in common? Superior coaching skills. Bart Starr, Mike Eruzione, Michael Jordan, and Johnny Bench, all standout players under these coaches.